Welcome everyone to some more Tales of Arise. Last time, if I remember correctly, I did at least one more side quest, and that was a tough one. And I progressed with the story. We investigated the wedge and completed whatever happened there. However, it wouldn't be enough since, you know what's going on. And, of course, Shion's hiding something. I kind of have some ideas of what's going on, but, not too much because I don't want to think too much on that. And, we're going to find the starship that, Alvin was in, like, prior to the game, like, starting, the beginning of the story, basically. And, that's what we're doing. I ended it before we made too much progress on that. So, yeah, we're in Calaglia, going to find it in the volcano. That's something. Also, I have a lot of things in the way on my desk. Also, I messed with accessories again. And I changed some things up. The party's still the same, however, because I don't know. It just is. I'm probably too used to keeping the same people in the party at this point, so I apologize if you guys wanted to see more of the other characters. I apologize. Anyways. Oh yeah, this finished while I was messing with accessories. Oh wow, that's a lot of... Okay, there we go. Okay, so yeah, we gone here. Okay, there's the teleport point. Also, as usual, I haven't played in a few days, and yeah, I'm gonna struggle a bit as I try to remember how to play it again.
That was quite the little adventure we went on.
Also, we got shortcut. I'd rather not just carelessly jump down though. Oh, ouch. Awakening Pebble. Oh, and also, just to remind you guys, if I ever pause, most likely through like a few times throughout this entire session, as you all know, I am a university student, and currently there is a project thing that I'm working on with someone, so if I ever awkwardly pause, it's possibly because they're texting me, so yeah.
I won't forgive you!
Now you see what I can do!
Don't mind if I do!
Eat this! Double demon fang!
Where are you going? It's a
Dragon swarm!
Pesky airborne scoundrels.
Sounds like a job for yours truly!
In an instant! Impact drop! Come one, come all! Denied! I'll finish you here!
Alright, yeah.
No escape! I'm not done!
Do it!
Remove!
Astral energy!
Say no more!
Must be easy to pick off the bad guys from far off.
It is. I mean, aside from adjusting for movement, wind speed, trajectory...
See? Easy.
Okay. Okay, let's see. Where was... Okay, so we explored everything. I went this way and pretty much... Okay, that's where I ended off. Have every single... We'll deal with that later. New chest. Oh dear.
Right, here goes! Eat this!
Pierce evil!
Oh gosh.
Take your roll off!
Not on my watch!
Are those rockets?
Double demon fang!
The flashing parts are weak point!
No armor can stop
Charge
me!
like that.
Remind me to stay on your good side.
Oh god.
In here!
That's good.
Double demon fang! Dragon swarm! With this my turn!
Watch this!
Take this!
Armor won't save you!
Okay, here I go!
So much for sitting this fight out.
That wouldn't be a complete idea.
Nope, that is...
Oh no, 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 no.
looking good.
Okay.
Now, Law, get toasty.
Burn strike!
Right, next one.
That lagged.
Already on.
I'm not done.
Burning.
You're finished.
Glacial spear. Pierce evil.
Double
Do it.
demon. Remote.
Astral energy.
Say no more.
Oh dear.
Thank goodness we won.
That was a mess. I apologize. Again,
Thus our strength yet grows.
Again, as I said, it's been literally a few days. So. Oh wait. Oh, that's weaker. Oh yeah, I did that side quest. Anyways, let's keep going. It all the saves in the corner. Oh wait, I was paying attention to the map.
Gotta break through. Here I come.
Raging
Burn in
cascade.
hell.
I'll tear you apart!
You're mine.
Oh god.
Sleep now.
Double demon.
Their hide is thick as armor.
Roll away. Cut.
Oh, back in their defenses!
You're mine.
Glad you have your uses.
Take it.
I'll show you how useful I can be! I'll finish you here and now! That's fun!
I'll stop its tongue. Thanks, Kitara.
Demon fast. Win. You're mine. Rising
there with the
thunder.
others.
Cut. Dragon swarm.
I got acid.
Double demon fang. Dragon swarm.
Now.
Chill.
This ends now.
Consider yourself finished.
Oh boy.
Easy peasy. Huh, Hoodle?
Okay, paying attention to the map. Okay. So obviously we had to progress through the whole thing, but we had to make sure we check every corner. Because that's what we do. God, my mind is so weird today. I can't think. What is this?
There.
More fire. Enemies.
No backing down!
Glacial spear. Pierce
I'm
evil.
not done. It's over.
Thunder field. Freeze lancer.
Double demon.
Hey, when it is high. Magna ray. Field. Do it.
Remote.
Astral energy.
Say no more. Got it.
Well done.
You're mine.
Nice, Law.
Okay.
One's all
Use
mine.
this.
The enemy
There we
first
go.
to me.
Look to me here!
Beat me to it.
Gotta be quick, or I'll take them all myself!
Oh, like hell.
Now.
Oh! And she learned a new art.
I've been doing really great lately.
What's here? Strat. Oh.
This
Interesting.
bridge will hold itself together, right?
Most definitely. Though I won't make any promises.
Which one is it?
Basic. Okay.
Looks like some solid equipment.
Ready? Let the dialogue play. Okay. Let's keep going. You know, if this starship is somewhere in the volcano, how? Okay, I think it's pretty obvious what kind of question I'm about to ask, but you know what? Let's not think about it.
No choice.
Eat this!
I'll
tear you
Double demon
apart!
fang.
Far enough!
Here I come. I'm not done.
Glacial spear. You have the right area on their back.
Now
Demon fang. I'm not done.
hit a word! Hurt both!
Silvering wind.
It was nice while it
You're on.
lasted.
Cut. It's over.
There you go! It's all I feel like wrong. Then I'll split it open!
Be my guest.
Now you see what I do!
Double demon fang.
Now! This ends now!
Consider yourself
There you
finished.
go.
That's some power you wield.
You're the one who did the heavy lifting.
Okay, let's see. Okay, the correct way is obviously this way. So let's go here first. Okay. Oh dear. Oh, they're going to after me.
Hi, Hoodle.
Here I come!
Rounding us.
Oh. Come on, enemy.
I never miss.
Dragon Swarm!
Lunar Corolla.
Demon Fang!
If it curls up, time to get out of the way. I'm free.
It looks like you got this one covered.
Sia, can you take care of them?
No sooner said than done.
Oh gosh.
You shouldn't have messed with me.
Double demon! They can't lay a finger on you.
I prefer it that way. What about you?
Just watch and see.
Oh gosh. Dialogue is colliding. I forgot I had.
You fight better at a distance. The further away, the better. You and I both.
Double demon fang!
Do it.
It's over. Astral energy. Full throttle.
Go! A flawless victory.
So naturally.
I'm on it.
Double demon fang!
Do it.
Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
Glacial spear. Pierce evil.
Dragon Swarm!
Sleep now.
Double demon fang!
Now I'm in the groove.
Dragon Swarm!
Do it.
Law, get toasty.
Bird strike. Those bombs of yours are amazing.
Who needs a gun when you can send them flying?
Look at the materials we're getting now. Keep on going. Oh, right. Just want to make sure.
No backing down.
Come on!
Far beyond the darkest
No
shadows.
escape!
I never miss.
mine!
Watch this.
Double demon fang! Dragon Swarm! Here I come!
Now, Dohalim, this one's got your name on it.
Action to action.
Mega ray.
The enemy wields our truth.
You'll soon see about that.
Swarm!
Do it.
Win!
Law,
Demons descend. Flashing fang.
easy. Way to go.
Double demon fang! I'm not done!
Glacial spear.
Burn in hell!
Eat this.
I'm not done!
Now.
Oh, it's already dead.
Hey, Poodle's quivering. I think we're about to be real lucky.
Let's go fight these things.
Hi, Hoodle.
I'm on it! Talon Hurricane! Double demon fang! Take it! Crush!
Celestial hammer. I'm all stopped up.
I'll smash you.
Take it! I'm not done!
Hit him
Double
first.
demon fang! Eagle assault! Dragon Swarm!
Amazing.
Quiver dragon!
I'm on a roll now. That freaking does
You're
it.
mine! Double demon fang!
Now you see what I can do.
I'll tear you apart! Double demon fang! You're mine!
Do it.
Law,
Demons descend. Flashing fang.
easy.
Way to go.
Double demon fang!
We are freaking invincible.
Alvin and the others truly are strong.
What about me?
Dragon Swarm!
Gemini Aqua. Annihilation.
Do it.
I'm not done!
Astral energy.
Say no more!
Okay.
That astral energy was incredible!
I gave it everything I had.
This way. Gold gel. Okay. Let's see. Okay, down there. We have a lot of this little, like, map actions.
It's crazy to see rocks melt before our eyes.
Watch where you're going, everyone. If you fall, there will be nothing left of you.
Exactly. So don't try anything funny. Especially you, Law. No pushing anyone. Not even as a joke.
I'm not a little kid!
Okay. We can use a bit of CP here.
I didn't know you had that sort of trick up your sleeve, Dohalim. I would have figured rocks and plants would be too different for you to handle both.
Not necessarily. Both of them contain Earth astral energy. Luckily for me, this area is rich not only in fire energy, but Earth as well.
Okay.
Oh. This looks nice and tough.
Okay. Which is a shortcut, but I want to use it anyway. It's fine. Okay. I'm just a shortcut, but I want to fight the enemies so we can get more EXP. Oh my god.
No backing down!
You picked the wrong
Tear you
fight!
apart!
You're mine! Damn it!
Oh god, oh god.
Watch it!
Air thrust!
I'll smash you!
Illuminate the dark!
One of them.
Dragon Form!
Storm!
I'm not done!
I'll crush you! Ah! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! Dragon! Now I'm in the
Kitsuru!
zone!
Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone!
You're mine!
Strike! Talon Storm!
Crush!
It was nice while it lasted.
Lunar corruption!
First strike!
Break
Wicked
it!
hair! Water!
Dragon Form!
Annihilation!
Glimmer
Dragon
Dragon!
Fang!
Watch this! That freaking does it!
Freeze Lancer!
Shattering
Dance to the
Fang!
wind!
Here I come!
Healing circle!
Try harder! We're clean it out.
Let me take the reins!
Astral energy! Full throttle! A flawless victory.
I'll finish you here, Billy! Ready to
Dragon
rip!
Form!
Light astral
Into a
energy!
double Demon Fang! Struck!
Lightning!
Struck!
Hear me!
Dragon Form!
Xion!
Get toasty!
Oh god, whoa. Lag.
First strike!
Oh god, that lagged. Right there.
My fists are crushing it out there!
Okay, just in case, we're gonna save the game. Because I was... Oh, we're already at our 14th save slot. And that means we're now going to start saving from the beginning again. Oh. Still have to check fish. Fish. Let's get rid of these guys.
It's all...
Take this!
Not in your dreams!
No escape!
Armor won't save you!
Double Demon Fang! Dragon Swarm!
More with that
Talon Hurricane!
Blew away!
It looks like you got to the flashing parts
No,
for a
no,
weak
no.
point.
Get in the dark!
Do it! Dohalim! This one's got your name on it!
Ashes to ashes!
Here
Laser
goes!
spear.
Here I
Here's
come.
evil!
Struck!
This one's mine!
Now I'm in the
Dragon
groove!
Swarm!
Corruption! Do
Take
it!
it! Flip out!
Astral energy!
Say no more! Got it!
Well done!
Beyond care!
Annihilation!
Double Demon Fang!
Laser fury! Burning strike!
Dragon Swarm!
Do it!
Chill!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
I've been doing really great lately.
Oh wow. Got our bonus.
Right,
Oh, no,
here
there's
goes!
two of them.
You picked the wrong fight!
Oh wow, already.
Take this! Struck! It's over!
Illumination!
I'll smash you!
Go for the weak point!
I'm aware of that.
Laser spear!
Double Demon Fang!
I'll crush you! Ah! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! Watch this!
You're mine!
Now!
Look sharp! Lightning Tiger
Tiger
Blade!
Blade! See that?
That training's paying off!
Watch this!
Double Demon Fang!
Shattering pieces!
Do it!
Lightning roll!
This
yourself finished!
Okay. I'll be good.
With your flames and my technique,
We're stronger together than we are apart.
The number of times Law uses his mystic art is equivalent to the number of times one of the characters in Zestiria has used her mystic art. Because when I played Zestiria on all my playthroughs of that game, one of the characters, which just in case I will not name, they always use their mystic art constantly. So I'm just so yeah, it's happening all over again, but not in a bad way. I actually appreciate it. It's, yeah. Oh boy, we're already gonna go into the fight. Fun. How much is left in this area? A lot. Okay, we're gonna save. Again. Oh, heal CP after battle, that's what. Okay. What is here? We're level 41.
What the hell is that thing?
probably that monster Nath warned us about, if I had to guess.
Do you think this might have been where one of those lights that shot out of the wedge landed?
But why this location? If the purpose of the wedge is to harvest Dana's astral energy.
We can figure that out later. If that thing gets into town, it's going to cause chaos. We need to take it down and move on. Let's go!
Oh dear. Oh, 47. Oh.
This one's tough, but we have no choice.
Let
We
me know
have-
if you need healing.
Oh no.
Here it comes. Focus.
On your toes, everyone.
I can't, check it.
It's on!
Suddenly turning tails doesn't seem so ridiculous.
Why? Are you scared?
Me? Are you?
Do you even have to ask? Of course I'm scared.
Focus up before we become that thing's lunch.
It's summoning Zoogle?
Oh
Take
no.
care of them. I'm keeping an eye on it.
Reload!
Dragon Sword Strike!
Illuminate the sword of corruption! Holy ray!
Ignite!
Lightning!
Eagle Fly!
Dragon
I'm on a roll now!
There you go! Go right up! Only getting started!
Take this!
Oh gosh.
Double Demon Fang!
Have, oh gosh. Oh no.
Double Demon Fang!
So much for sitting this.
Sorry, trying to.
That wouldn't be a complaint,
Nope, that is
Charge like that could easily be fatal.
Oh gosh, the angle makes it hard to fight.
Strike!
all good things come to an end.
It's too much!
In here!
Double Demon Fang!
I'll smash you!
Strike!
What a relief!
Double Demon Fang!
I'm just getting started.
It's on! Double Demon Fang!
Oh gosh.
You're mine!
I really owe you.
Why'd you heal me?
To stop you dying?
Oh gosh.
Like me
Double Demon Fang!
Do it!
Chill!
This ends now!
Consider
Oh gosh.
yourself
I need
finished!
to get comfortable in my chair for this. So much going on.
Burn it out!
Anything in armor is all
It looks like you got this one covered.
Here I come!
It's over.
Talon Hurricane!
I'll heal you all.
You're mine!
Holy Land!
Eagle Fly!
No escape!
Talon Hurricane!
What would I do without
Rip and tear!
Now I can let loose!
Looks like you came to my rescue again.
You need to be careful. With the blazing sword,
It's time to finish this. Die! Consuming wildfire!
Oh jeez.
I'll tear you apart! I'll smash you!
Another disaster made no way. Of course, I'm not
Double Demon Fang!
Eagle dive! Double demon fang! Take this! Crumble! I'm not done! Take this! Win! I can carve through armor!
I just realized this thing is called Efreet Malum.
It's weakened. Now. Astral energy. Full throttle.
What now?
This one's all
God.
mine.
Here come more.
You'll
Oh,
just
no.
have to keep fighting.
Oh gosh, they're all...
To me.
No complaints
You
here!
picked the wrong fight.
Now.
Eagle dive!
Look sharp.
Oh dear. This is
Lightning
tense.
Tiger Blade.
See
I
that?
don't know why, it's
training's
not that
paying off.
tense. Okay.
Dragon shell!
Oh wow, we just... Oh, are you kidding me? Oh, that's fair.
Back into the fray. Back into the fray.
I'm off my
Confiscated. Arch sealed.
Here I go.
That's fair. Oh god, oh god, oh god, Alvin.
Now.
Look sharp! Lightning
I
Tiger
just
Blade!
lost all my HP.
Water astral energy. Healing circle. Thanks. Just when I'm not in your dreams. Arch sealed. Gale force. More wasteland.
First strike! Double demon fang!
Now.
Dragon move!
Astral energy.
Say no more.
Press keys.
Well
Just-
done.
Swallow demon fang!
I guess you had your uses now and again.
Told ya, lies unstoppable.
Shame you're not like that all the time. Astral energy.
Say no more.
It's on! All good things come to an end.
What is happening?
Reinforcements incoming.
Not a problem.
Another one.
You picked the wrong fight.
Oh no.
This one's mine.
Really stop with
Magic is
Dragon Sword!
Healing circle.
Now I can let loose.
Watch it!
If it's in the
Oh
sky,
my-
it's mine.
Please stop. Oh dear. Because the original skill's not up. That's, I mean, you know, filling in, it's like a bit harder to deal with.
Save you! It's over! Double demon fang! Dragon Sword!
Here's a healing
No
arc.
further! Rip it! Oh, now you're tired!
Oh my god, please, reveal all your skill.
No!
You're coming.
Try harder. Stay away from my friend.
Oh no!
Ready.
Take this!
Oh yeah, please. Or stop it for like 10 seconds.
I hope this medicine works this time.
It's on! Not today!
You back from death's abyss. Resist.
Please.
Take the wind. Sweet
Double
life.
demon fang!
Corruption.
They'll pay for that! With this, my turn!
Gemini Alpha.
Here I come! Swallow dance!
Seriously, they're using spells like crazy.
Dragon Sword! Take this! Great! My
Here.
turn!
Oh my god, one's dead.
Too much to handle.
Smash it! Now I'm in the groove! Double demon fang! You'll pay for
Oh no, not again.
Do it! Eagle ride!
Astral energy.
Spam.
Say no more.
Oh boy. I think I'm calling
Illuminate the talent. Now.
Just
This ends
end
now.
it
Consider yourself
quickly.
Dance in the wind.
Ah.
Gemini Aqua. Let's get Mega Ray.
Dragon Sword! Double demon fang!
Arcane waterfall. I'll
Dragon
use
Sword!
Warrior Lancer. One more time. Will this help?
Oh my god, angles, please.
Magic is there. Holy Land.
Dragon Sword!
What would I do without ghosts?
Here I come!
Back into the fray.
Oh dear.
Ignite! Dragon Sword!
Mega Ray.
I can carve through armor!
Heathen will sing.
Dragon Sword! First strike! Watch it!
Oh god.
Try harder!
I'm sorry to be a father. We've all got enough on our plate.
Yes, ma'am!
Freeze Lancer.
No further!
Why is the camera never working in my favor? Please. Seriously, I have no control over the camera.
Take it down.
Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
I have no control over that camera.
It's
I was
about to
being
strike.
serious.
Look sharp, everyone!
Oh gosh.
Everyone all right?
No.
We won't surrender. We won't retreat. Not yet.
Whatever you do, just please stay safe.
Damn it! How are we supposed to take on something so big?
I'll handle it.
Alvin!
Watch and learn. That's enough.
Oh, jeez.
Go back down.
Okay. Oh, wow. Oh my god.
Everyone okay?
Yeah, I think so.
That thing scared the pants off me.
It felt like it had a different aura than other Zeugles, didn't it?
Yeah, it wasn't like the one that Almadria sicked on us either.
Its elemental astral energy variance was out of this world. It was like fighting a lord.
I guess it's safe to assume that if it came out of the wedge, it must have played some part in helping harvest astral energy. But what?
Perhaps a living spirit vessel? It's plausible, given the location. Or it may be part of a new force dispatched to regain control of Dana.
If we assume that monster was one of the 4 beams of light, we must have prevented something from taking place here.
I'd like to think so, knowing how much grief it gave us. But at least with that out of the way, we can keep moving forward now. Let's go.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Okay, what were we still up? I'll just close out for a second. Secret key! The key to a certain door in Calaglia. Simply beholding it makes one wonder what lies beyond the threshold. Wait.
You're quite the gunslinger.
I have to be, in this world.
Don't worry, I've got your back.
Oh dear. That wasn't fun though. I think it's so evil. I can't get over those. I don't know what to say because I'm just a bit of a loss for words. I'll just get that next. Maybe. Oh boy. Oh, that was tough. I didn't like it at all. Oh, does that lead outside the volcano? Maybe. Probably does. Okay, pebble. A bunch of hex breakers. Let's go save. Oh dear. I don't want to do that again. Oh wow. Look at the sky. Oh boy. Oh. Oh. What? Oh.
Hey, is that it over there?
Oh. Let's just keep going.
Alvin?
Did you remember something?
No, but I have seen this starship before. This is it. This is the ship I traveled in when I escaped from Lenegis.
Three centuries later, and it's no worse for wear. I'll take a look at the internals.
Damn! I'm amazed it still works at all after all this time.
The past meets the present. I really am from a different time and place.
Yeah, but you've got us now, Alphen.
Not only that, but you've helped out so many people, too.
Law's right. Rinwell too. You're one of us now. No more carrying the weight of history on your shoulders. You're a part of this world.
Right. Thanks, you guys.
How's it look?
It should fly. All internal systems seem to be operating. However, considering how long it's remained inactive, I suspect it will take some time before it's ready for takeoff.
How much time are we talking here?
Starship mechanics are not what I'd call my forte, so I'd rather not hazard a guess.
So we've just got to sit around here and wait? I'm terrible at waiting.
That's because you're a child. Oh, but how about we use this time to prepare and gather supplies for the trip?
Good idea. Who knows when we'll be back from Lenegis once we leave? We should prepare ourselves for every possible scenario before we go.
Let's try not to stay away too long. I'd hate for anything to happen to the place while we're gone.
Either we race ahead, or we take due precaution to ensure we have no regrets. I shall leave it up to you as to how we proceed, Alphen.
Works for me.
Oh boy. Wait until the ship is ready for takeoff. And that is... Okay. And it's like... Sorry, I'm just looking. Hold on, my mouse is sucking things. Wait, what did I gain from that fight anyway? Secret key or something? Yeah, secret key. Oh, and Claglio. Well, let's go.
I think the animals back at the ranch should be all grown up by now.
Yeah, let's do this. I didn't want to ruin the flow of the story, so that's why I waited before talking to this person. Oh, nothing to sell. Get our 2 light bottles back. Wait. Do we have anything else? No. Unless I want to craft other weapons to fill in the thing. Now that I think about it. When did we play records for this stuff? Gosh. Newly opened treasure chests. There's still like a lot in the game. There's still a lot of these. Still a lot of subquests. Well, these are completed ones. I have like about like 7 or 8 ongoing. Still 40 weapon. Less than 40. No, exactly 40. A lot of equipment, but that's doesn't matter. Created this many in this. Wow. These stuff. Well, I'm sorry if this is kind of random for me to look through, but I just want to make sure of things.
It's funny, isn't it?
What is?
All this. When we first started this thing, did you ever imagine we'd be going to Lenegis? After all, this is the sort of thing I was rebelling against when I ran away from home, right?
I'm sure Zephyr would be proud if he knew what his son was doing right now.
And a little shocked, too.
We're defying the order of things that have persisted for 300 years. Deep down, I knew our journey would lead to confronting Lenegis.
Yeah, you maybe, but you're a Renan. The rest of us can barely even picture what it means to leave Dana.
No offense to Shion and Dohalim, but it's worth remembering we're heading into enemy territory.
No offense taken, and this is no picnic for me either.
Remember, our aim is to ensure that both Lenegis and the Renan homeworld leave Dana alone for good. I don't think we'll be able to avoid a fight.
Is there no way we can talk them into leaving us alone?
The people of Lenegis?
Sure. I mean, we found a way to make it work with Xion and Dohalim, right? And it's not just us. If places like Menancia can do it, then why can't we?
Because there are still many of my kind who believe it was right and natural that Rena reigns over Dana. There are those on Lenegis who have never stepped foot on Dana. I doubt whether they'd even listen to Danans.
Look, none of us want to fight. But these are the same people who fired that wedge down on Dana. What happens next is on them.
Right. We're not going to sit back and wait for them to oppress us again.
Right.
Don't forget, there's also a good chance the Red Woman is somewhere on Lenegis. And wherever she is, we should find the Renaissalma too.
That's right. If we can take it back, then Xion can finally get rid of her thorns. Xion?
Huh? Yeah.
Where? Xion? Where'd Xion go? How could she just go off on her own?
Oh, she's over there. I want to comment that is not a very comfortable way to sleep, or if they are sleeping, sitting up. Okay.
Xion. Xion! It's your thorns? But why? You okay? Just now, it looked like you used your maiden powers to suppress your thorns. You can really do that?
Stay out of my way.
Wait a second. Are you planning to go alone?
Shut up!
Why would you do this?
I told you to shut up!
I won't let you.
I mean it.
I refuse to let you.
I won't tell you again. Move or I'll shoot.
If that's the case, then go ahead and shoot me!
Do you remember back when I was stabbed? By Rolron?
Yeah. I thought for sure that he had killed you back there.
That wasn't the first time.
Huh?
The first time was when I was only a child. After that, no matter how often, I just couldn't die.
Couldn't die? So you're immortal? How's that even...
I believe you, Xion. But tell me how is something like that possible?
My thorns. They're me, but at the same time not. They're part of me. I have no idea why, but my thorns will never let me die. At least not before I'm meant to.
You can't die before your death?
When my thorns free themselves, it will be my death. I've seen it. A darkness that swallows up everything until nothing remains. It's a vision of oblivion I can't escape. I want to believe it's all just a bad dream. But no matter what I tell myself, I know it's not.
Yeah, but you... Wait. The whole reason you needed the Renaissance was to get rid of your thorns, right?
If I burn away what's inside, then what will happen to the rest of me? Right. Either way you look at it, I'm going to die. But if I am going to die, I figure I can at least take my thorns out with me. That's what I've been after this whole time.
That's why you turned your back on your fellow Renans and chose to fight with us, isn't it? And while we've all been fighting to keep on living, you have been with us fighting desperately to die.
That was the plan. But then I met all of you. And before I knew it, I didn't want to die anymore.
Shion, don't lose hope yet. We'll find a way to save you. There's still time to.
It's pointless.
Why?
Because the darkness won't just consume me. The truth is, it will consume all of existence as well. It was only a suspicion at first. But ever since the Red Woman triggered my maiden powers, I've been more certain than ever before. It was then that I finally came to realize my powers were holding my thorns in check the entire time. But they don't anymore. Not since Lenegis, when the wedge fell. Every day, I feel the thorn's power growing stronger inside of me. Pretty soon, I won't be able to hold them back anymore. And when that happens,
They will consume all existence.
And that's why you wanted to leave by yourself. You planned to find the Renaissance on your own and sacrifice yourself to stop the thorns.
But that's... too much. It's way too much.
when this all began, I didn't care what happened to me or anyone else. And what happened to the Renans or the Danans didn't matter to me at all. I know I have to die, but I don't want to. Not now that I have this. I wish we had never met. Then I wouldn't have to feel this way.
Shion!
Alvin?
Only living for the sake of dying is no better than being a slave. How can you endure this?
Alvin.
It's not fair. I don't care what anybody says. I won't let it happen! We can fight this! We'll fight until the end together. Isn't that what you said to me before?
Even if it should mean that it'll be the end of everything else, too?
Shion, what do you want? your decision, ultimately. But if you decide not to fight fate, I will. Even if I have to do it alone.
No, you won't be alone. I'll fight as well.
Count me in as well. I want to be a force for good, not hate.
And me too. I meant it with all of my heart when I told you before. Neither of you are alone in this at all.
You guys...
And I, for one, don't believe this venture is without hope. Shion is the descendant of a maiden from 300 years ago. Given the circumstances, it seems very likely that those events have some connection to her thorns. The true nature of which, I imagine we will discover as we make our way to Lenegis and uncover the truth of what's unfolding here.
I take it you mean we might find a way to get rid of her thorns and she'll live?
It's certainly possible. Though I suspect the nature of the Sovereign is connected somehow.
So be it. I've already lost everything I had once. And I won't let it happen again. Shion. No matter what happens from now on, we're right here with you. All of us are. You are not alone.
You guys... You're all so stubborn. Thank you, everyone. For right now, and a little while longer, I just want to hold on to this dream. And most of all, more than anything else, I want to be with all of you. So let's go. On to Lenegis.
Please don't get me in trouble with that song playing in the background. Please tell me their voice acting covers it. Oh boy. Aw. God, my heart. Okay. My heart, guys! Also, please, I could please, I need, I hope I could upload this without problem, because there's voice acting and I could see it. But, so yeah, I guess I'm a little bit right, because I was kind of suspecting it may have to do with her thorns, which is why she's acting weird. Oh my god, I was kind of thinking, it's like, oh, don't tell me she plans to die or something, and I'm like, okay, I technically guessed that. Aww. So, God, where do I begin? So, yeah, her swords it's basically like a ticking time bomb where, like, if she didn't do something quickly or something, the thorns would destroy everything, more or less. And, of course, if the thorns are gone, she's gone, and, oh. This really feels like Endgame now, I think, but I don't think I could have time for it today, sadly, if I do continue. We'll see. We'll see after we talk to our party members. Aww. And, what else? Okay, so we convinced her that we're going to fight and find a way, and we're going to be going to Lenegis. Sorry, I'm just sitting here thinking because I'm like, huh. Sorry, I'm just thinking, like, sorry, I'm a little paranoid because, like, with, like, audio-related things being all, like, taken seriously these days, I'm, like, so scared. The cutscene is gonna get me in trouble, like, because the music. I mean, if people uploaded your Susteria playthrough fine, then I should be fine. Defeated all lights. Oh, interesting. Wait, I didn't notice that. Aww. I just talked to everyone for now.
The end of the world. It's hard to believe, isn't it?
I believe Shion is telling the truth. What about you?
As a friend, yes, I want to believe her. Everything that's happened seems to point towards some sort of great danger that's lurking ahead of us. Still, it's hard to fathom something that could usher outright doom to the world. That those really are the stakes we face.
No, I understand. Even Shion doesn't seem to know exactly what will happen to bring it all about.
We have so many pieces of the puzzle in our hands, so many clues, yet the complete picture eludes us.
So where do her thorns fit in then?
Well, I imagine they must sit at the very center of it all. You remember the voice we all heard while we were inside the wedge, don't you?
Yeah, I remember. It was the will of Dana's astral energy come to life. Or that's what we all thought.
Right. And from that, we're able to hypothesize how vast concentrations of astral energy can become sentient. Let's return to when we found Shion in Pelagian. When her thorns went wild, they contained far more astral energy than any mere Renin would normally have inside them.
So you think those thorns might be alive too? That their will is what keeps her from dying? But why would they want to destroy the entire world?
As for that, I really cannot say for certain. Its goals still remain a mystery. It may be a mere fluke that her maiden powers have been able to contain it thus far.
You know, I've noticed since we've met that you like figuring out riddles.
Can you blame me? When one realizes that the world they once thought to be true is but a mere facade, they can't help but seek the truth. Especially when that deception has led to others getting hurt.
Dohalim?
I imagine the remaining pieces of the puzzle that we seek rest somewhere within Lenegis. As for what the final picture will look like, who can say? I think it's best we not dwell on it too much for the time being.
Right.
Yes, still a few questions left unanswered, but I think we'll be getting our answers as we progress anyway, so do not worry.
How you holding up?
Who, me?
Yes, you. You took a hit from those thorns again, didn't you?
Oh, that? That was nothing.
Compared to what Shion's going through, you mean? Still, even if you yourself might be willing to endure that kind of pain, that doesn't mean Shion wants to have to see you get hurt by her thorns, you know?
Yeah, I know. I'll be careful.
Shion doesn't know how lucky she is to have you around, you know? Dashing in to save her at the last minute.
Yeah, very funny.
I'm being serious. You went up and held her close like you still had that mask on, and you didn't even bat an eye. She really needed that. That's what I mean when I said you saved her. Just like you did with the rest of us.
I just want for Shion what we all have. The ability to touch someone without the fear of killing them. Those thorns have robbed her of the kind of everyday things we all take for granted. And it's not right.
You can say that again. It may be normal for us, but that doesn't make it any less special or important for her. I hope she gets what she wants. I have my own dreams, but a world without her, where she dies so we can all survive, isn't a world I want to live in.
Agreed. It's like more and more keeps getting taken from her, and I'm done with it.
Did you know?
You mean about Shion?
Yeah, I didn't have the slightest idea. I mean, every once in a while I thought something seemed a little off, but I never could have imagined. It's like a completely different world was spinning around me and I couldn't even see it.
You and me both. I mean, I knew something was bothering her, but I could never quite figure out what it was.
You? But you're the one always looking out for her, aren't you?
That's what I thought. But in reality, I didn't understand it all. What I thought was helping and being there for her was actually just driving her into a corner.
At least you figured it out in time, though, right?
I don't think we're out of the woods yet. But yeah, you're right. We brought her back from the edge, and we're going to stop those thorns from taking her. No matter what.
Yeah, with all of us together, there's nothing we can't handle. Shion, the world, we can save everyone. And I mean it when I say we, Alphen.
I know. No lone wolfing it.
Hey, you're the expert on what my dad would say. Do you think he'd pat me on the back or tell me off?
Zephyr, I don't think that he'd have that much to say, to be honest. You're your own man now, Law. And you've already made up your own mind about what you want.
I guess he couldn't say anything even if he wanted to.
Law.
Sorry. I guess those of us amongst the living have enough problems to deal with, don't we? We'll need all our strength to save Shion. I'll probably end up worrying again at some point, but I guess I'll think it over more then. That okay?
Yeah, I think it is. Can't sleep?
After everything we just heard, how could I?
Fair enough.
Shion's had to deal with so much on her own. Even when we were all laughing and celebrating, she just kept quiet and didn't say anything. I thought she was keeping her distance because of her thorns. That it was because she didn't want to hurt anybody by getting too close. I just figured that that was the type of person she was, you know? But it turned out to be none of that. All this time, she felt like she had to die and sacrifice herself for the greater good. But even then, she didn't think she could say anything to us about it.
I know.
She was so alone this entire time. How could I call her a friend and yet be so completely blind to everything she was going through?
I'm sure it made her happy, knowing you were there for her.
You really think so?
Yeah, I do. If she didn't think of us as friends, I don't think she could have ever opened up to us like that. You were a good friend to her before, and you'll be an even better one now.
Yeah, I really hope so. I want to be the best I can for her. When you think about it, we were all alone in our own way. But over time, we've all found ways to let each other into our lives. I hope Shion's able to do that one day too. No, I mean, I hope she's able to do that more. Lots and lots more. I think it'd be really nice if we could all just be there to support each other when it really counts. And forget about our grudges and pain.
Rinwell.
And talk to Sharon.
Hey, you doing all right?
I seem to cause nothing but worry. As much as I try to look like I have things under control, everyone still worries about me.
You're not the only one.
Hey, do you remember the first time you said I was your friend?
No? When was that? Sorry, I can't remember.
That's okay. It came so naturally to you, I'm not surprised you forgot. I was different back then. The Danans were not even people to me, and I knew I would always be alone. But in that room with Deadime, when you called me your friend, it just shattered the wall that I'd built up around me. Because until that moment, I'd only seen you as a means to an end. I thought of you as a way to use the blazing sword, and to obtain the Renis Alma. But after that day, one time became two. And before I knew it, you'd made a habit of calling me and Dohalim your friends. It didn't matter that we were Renans. You cared about us as you would any other people. Then, everyone else started to call me their friend too. To think of me as their friend. Before then, I never even dreamed I could have that. I didn't want to die and lose you all. But I also didn't want to live if it meant you would all die in my place.
Shion.
But then, I realized... I'd only really been thinking of myself that entire time. After saying how I felt, and hearing what you all had to say, I finally understood that. Don't worry, it's okay. I'm not planning on dying anymore. I've met too many people along the way who I truly care about to give in now. So I'll fight. For Dana and for myself. I'll fight against my fate to preserve our future. And I'll win, come hell or high water. I don't know how we're going to do it, but I won't let the world end because of me.
It's going to be a long, hard road ahead, Shion. Our fight won't be over until everyone, both Danans and Renans, can finally live in peace. But I swear I'll be there with you, until the very end.
Thank you.
Remember what we learned back in Calaglia? There's no wall so high that we can't break it down.
Yeah, I think you may be right about that.
My heart.
Everyone well rested? Then let's go. We depart for Lenegis.
God, the music just plays. Let's see what else also appeared in these things, if anything. I wonder how many of these things do people have? Probably more. Oh, Sanctuary. I still have to max it out. The music is just playing now. Wait. No, wait. What's the buttons? Gee. Oh, boy. Oh, we just go straight there? Oh, let's go save just in case. Oh, boy. Wait, can I still teleport? I don't know. I guess something I forgot to mention. You know how earlier in the stream I said it's like, wait, is this... If it landed in a volcano, it's like, no, he didn't. It's outside the volcano. Duh, that makes more sense. Otherwise, the whole thing is like burnt to the ground or something. Oh, we can still teleport. Wait, let me do something first.
What do you say we check back in on the ranch?
That's kind of what I want to do, a little bit. One has... I don't know. Let me check stuff. Lenegis. Apple. Oh yeah, that one's tough. think we're okay to go. I saved. Wait, did I even touch the campfire? Oops.
Well, it's the moment of truth.
This lady better hold together once we're up in the air.
Law, don't say that. You're going to jinx us.
Speaking of which, Alphen, this bucket of bolts got a name?
A name? You know, I'm not sure she ever had one. I never really thought about it.
Well, after all the trouble we went through to find her, we should give her one, right? I was thinking something like...
Fall Knights.
Huh?
It means owl in the ancient tongue. Literally, the one drawn to the skies.
I like it. Sounds perfect for our little escapade.
Not sure I'm completely convinced, but... well, it's as good a name as any. From now on, she'll be known as the Fall Knights.
Okay, people. We have two goals. First, we need to get to Lenegis and make the Renans finally leave Dana alone. And then, we need to figure out the truth behind Shion's thorns and find a way to save her. Sound good? All right, then let's go.
You know, I can still hardly believe it.
Believe what?
I mean, just look at it. The whole of existence, crammed inside a tiny frame.
Now that you mention it, I guess you're right. It does look more like a painting than a living, breathing world.
From up here, all the struggles we've been through feel so insignificant.
Nothing like realizing how small you are to put everything into perspective. Kinda makes the differences between the Renans and the Danans feel pretty small too, huh?
How much longer until we reach Lenegis?
There are better ways to use your time than napping. We should take a moment to familiarize ourselves with the facilities on board before arrival.
Good idea. The starship may end up serving as our base of operations once we're down there. Think you'll be all right with the controls?
You mean the one set to automatic pilot? I dare say I'll manage. I'm basically just here to supervise.
In that case, she's all yours.
Everything okay, Shion? You seem a little different.
Different? Like in a bad way different?
No, not at all. You seem more driven lately, like you found a zest for life. It suits you.
Oh god, the music is so loud. It's so loud. Oh. Also, I know I could have this, like, checked in some other things before we set off, but I was like, it's fine. Maybe. So, I'll be back. Okay.
Is something wrong?
No. I was merely thinking how it had been 7 years, that's all.
You mean since you became a lord and left Lenegis? I guess even someone like you can get homesick, huh?
I am as prone to sentimentality as any other. Tell me, though. You too have a history with Lenegis. A traumatic one, no less. This trip will probably mean facing up to some difficult emotions. Doesn't that frighten you?
Well, it is a place where I took the lives of countless people. I'd be lying if I said I hadn't thought about it. But I can't keep running forever. The past is what it is. There's no changing that. But the future's what we make it.
I see.
Dohalim,
Forgive me. I was wrong to pry. We have more pressing matters to address. Come back and speak to me when you finish looking around the ship.
Okay.
We'll be going to Lenegis soon.
This must feel like a homecoming of sorts to you, huh? What was life on Lenegis like back then? You know, before you came to Dana.
Let's just say, I don't have many happy memories. I've had thorns my whole life, for as long as I can remember. They called it treatment, but in truth, they were just using me as a guinea pig for their research.
You mean, they experimented on you?
That's right. All I was to them was a riddle to solve. They poked and prodded me, trying to figure out what triggered my thorns or changed the form they took. Day in and day out, every single day, one test after another. I'm still surprised they didn't try to dissect me. The look they gave me whenever one of them touched my skin. How could I forget it? Reeling from the pain, like I was a monster or something. Some existence, huh? A blight on any I touched. Helplessly complicit in their pain. I thought things couldn't get any worse. But then they did. I started to have nightmares, visions of the coming apocalypse. Is it any wonder I lacked a cheery disposition? Unable to so much as touch another soul. Loneliness was my best friend. Sure, I survived, but with the knowledge that one day I'd be swallowed up by oblivion. And that's when it hit me. If I was going to die, then it should mean something. If I have to sacrifice myself to save the world, so be it.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you relive that.
No, it's fine. I'm in a much better place now.
You say it's your destiny to die so that others can live. But why not the other way around? Why shouldn't we be the ones dying to save you?
Are you crazy? Why would you sacrifice your life for...
That's exactly my point. Why should you have to give up your life just because you drew the short straw in the destiny stakes? How is that even right? It's that logic that's used to justify slavery, as if some of us were just meant to be sacrificed. This struggle was never about saving only ourselves. But that doesn't mean we have to give up our own lives to save everyone else's either. If we're doing this to protect people, if we're doing this to save the world from destruction, then that has to include saving each other as well.
A world free of sacrifice. That's what you've been fighting for all along, isn't it?
Not just me. We're in this together, remember? This fight is yours too, Xion. If we're going to win, everyone has to win. There can be no room for losers in this fight. Now I see it. The true nature of our struggle.
A victory without losers. But that means that a Danon victory over Rena can't be the end. Do you think we can pull it off?
You bet we can pull it off. We have to. It's the only hope we have of things ever changing.
Yeah, you're right. No one's ever changed the future without aiming for the stars. We can do this. Together.
Also, I forgot to mention this whole time, but if you guys are hearing anything in the background, that's not my voice. I really apologize for that, because I can't control what my neighbors are doing outside with their lawnmowers or something. It's also like the middle of October, and it's getting colder, so it's probably because they're doing it now before it gets cold. So distracting too, but I am paying attention to the story, don't worry. It's not a big deal.
Hey, Alphen, listen to this! So Law and I were just talking and...
Hey, shut up!
What's got Law all flustered?
Only that he's afraid of flying, the big baby. And after all that fuss he made about naming the ship, too.
Hey, I never said I was scared. I just think it's, you know, a little unsettling how we're going to be cruising through space in a glorified tin can. That's all.
It's a starship, dummy. That's what it's supposed to do. I don't think there's anything strange about it.
Well, maybe you're the one with the problem then.
Guys. I'm no expert, but I think we can trust Renan technology. It got me to Dana in one piece, remember?
Oh, that's a good point. If you think so, Alphen, it must be okay. Don't you agree, Law?
Hard to argue with that, seeing how you hitched a ride in one of these things before, Alphen. It's just wrong, okay?
Okay. We have Kisara left. Stairs. That's how we got in. What is this? Oh. Oh gosh. The hitboxes for the doorways is really strange. Oh.
You okay? Feeling airsick?
Actually, now that you mention it, not at all. These starships are a remarkably smooth ride, all things considered. Nothing like being at sea, thank goodness.
Glad to hear it. That device there caught your eye, huh?
I was just wondering what it is. It looks big enough to fit a person inside of it.
It's a healing pod. It fixes injuries and illnesses.
Oh, you don't say. Well, that should definitely come in handy if any of us get injured while we're down there. Alphen? Was it something I said?
No, I was just thinking back to when I escaped Lenegis, that's all. What with the ceremony and losing control, I was a total mess. Naori laid me inside here.
So, you're saying you got in this thing straight after escaping? But that mean you were inside for 300 years?
Yes, it sounds crazy, I know. But don't even ask me why I stayed asleep all that time.
That's definitely quite some lie-in, all right. But still, whether you meant to or not, I sure am glad that it's this century that you finally woke up in.
What do you mean?
With the amount of fighting we've done, we would have never made it this far without you. And not only that, but... Alphen, can you recall back to what it is that I said to you? Back when we left Menancia? About the dream of coexistence, and needing to learn what it entailed?
Of course. That's why you came with us, right? To learn what you couldn't at home.
Even in that time, I was well aware that what I was living was a lie. But at the same time, I also felt really compelled to fulfill my brother's wishes. I'll always remember him fondly. But the coexistence we're fighting for isn't for him. It's for people now, and those still to come. The world's bigger than just Menancia. My dream is for all Danans, wherever they might be, to be free. If I've learned anything on this journey, it's that. And the one who brought me along was you, Alphen. I'll forever be grateful to you.
Well, we're not out of this forest just yet. You should probably save your thanks. At least, until we've dealt with the Red Woman.
I know. But whatever we find when we get down there, I'm through looking the other way.
Kisara.
Probably getting a little ahead of myself, huh? Let's take things one step at a time.
I know I'm not talking much, but there's just a lot of cutscenes, so that's why I'm quiet.
Is everyone about ready? We'll soon be making preparations to land.
Before we do that, just what exactly should we expect when we get down there?
Kisara has a point. Now that I think of it, I don't know the first thing about Lenegis.
I'd like to hear more too. It's been centuries since I was last there, and they didn't exactly give me the grand tour.
Very well. First and foremost, Lenegis was the base of operations in charge of the crown contest on Dana. Of course, it also happens to be a city in its own right, complete with its own independent society. Its social structure is based on a strict hierarchy. Put simply, the strength of an individual's astral arts carries great weight.
Enough to determine someone's social rank, you mean? But astral arts are innate, right? So people's positions are fixed at birth.
They can be honed with the right training, and there are admittedly other factors at play. But yes, that's basically the gist. As a result, family lines that churn out lords and their contenders wield disproportionate influence, and those lineages are treated as nobility.
Those capable of only weak astral arts are effectively an underclass, denied the right to descend to Dana even if they wanted to. Still, even the lowest rung on the Renan ladder is considered superior to being a Danon. Keep that in mind down there.
Thanks for the warning. As a lord, Dohalim must have been pretty high up in the pecking order, right? What about you, Shion?
Come on, you've seen her skill with astral arts. You really need to ask?
Fair point.
On arts alone, you're right. I'd have been sitting pretty. But you're forgetting my thorns. They weren't exactly an invitation to high society.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. It's refreshing to be around someone who says what they're thinking. Life's less complicated that way.
Jeez, give backhanded compliments much?
Wait a second. Are you? He is! Lost blushing!
I am not!
Of course, separating people into castes based on something arbitrary like arts is discrimination at its worst. As if such simplistic criteria could ever be a measure of someone's worth.
So this red woman, are we expecting to find her on Lenegis?
I would wager so. Lenegis is too deeply involved in all this to discard the possibility. Chances are she's also connected to the Renis Alma being stolen from us in Pelegion.
If the Renis Alma is being used to exploit Dana, we need to take it back at all costs.
That red woman's got a lot to answer for. Just as well I've got a ton of questions.
We're about to land. The descent could be a little bumpy, so brace yourselves.
If there are clues about your thorns out there, Shion, we'll find them. There's no one here. I wasn't expecting a welcome mat, but still.
Lenegis's infrastructure is largely automated. Besides, people won't be expecting incoming traffic while the crown contest is still underway.
Do you think anyone realizes that we're here?
We may not have received a royal welcome, but I doubt our entrance went unnoticed. Don't let your guard down.
I really hope we don't have to fight anybody while we're here.
So now what? We've come all this way on a hunch that this red woman is here, right? And if we're lucky, the Renis Alma too. Any idea where we should start looking?
There is an area of the city that is accessible only to the Sovereigns, known as the Forbidden Zone. That seems as good a place as any for us to start.
Forbidden? What are they hiding?
I don't know, hence my desire to find out. Fortunately, we just so happen to have a Sovereign in our midst. In any case, changing the shape of a huge structure such as Lenegis would have required an immense source of power.
Then you think that source might have been the Renis Alma?
Precisely. Alphen said that he remembered the Renis Alma being used in the spirit channeling ceremony 3 centuries ago. Whatever the ceremony's purpose, if preparations are underway for it to be held once more, then the Renis Alma might be in the same place as last time, possibly together with the Red Woman. Hiding something of that worth in the residential quarters would only court trouble. In which case...
It stands to reason we should be looking somewhere normally out of bounds. Is that it?
Indeed.
But it's been over 300 years since I was made a sovereign. You can't seriously think I'll be able to waltz right into the place after all this time.
There's only one way to find out. If there's even a chance you can get us in, I say we give it a shot.
Shion's right. Who knows? We might even find a clue to her thorns while we're at it.
All right. It's not like we're swimming in leads, so let's try to track down the Forbidden Zone. Beyond that wall lies a city full of Renans. The capital city where Shion and Dohalim used to live, no less. Who knows what we'll find on the other side?
This place. And we have skits. Okay, my legs are crushed. Ow.
Thinking about what could be lurking out here is giving me the heebie-jeebies.
For such a loudmouth, you sure can be a worrywart at times.
Oh, I'm sorry. How stupid of me for wanting us to stay safe.
Would you two children stop squabbling? Or do you want everyone to know we're here?
So how many Renans actually live in this place?
I couldn't tell you exactly, though not as many as you might expect. Machines and Zeugles take care of most of the city's basic functions.
There's Zeugles out here too, huh? Sounds like we can't afford to let our guard down after all.
Right. Seagulls! Fun! Ah. Yeah, we could go back to previous places if we so desire. Switch. Okay. And what does this do? Oh, that's if we want to go back manually. Well, we don't have to, and we'll be fine. My god, I don't know how much left is in the game. This feels like it's actually endgame this time. But it's like, I don't want to progress too much because, like, obviously, as you all know, if it's an actual finale of the story, I will want to have time to talk about my thoughts. And that takes like 30 minutes to an hour, so... We could explore, like, a good segment of this whole... Get that side quest off. We could explore a whole segment of this and then go from there, so... Let's see. Nothing. Kind of destroyed.
What in the world?
This being Renan territory, I was prepared for a lot of things to look different. But this is a bit more than I anticipated.
The very foundations of the city have shifted. What could have caused this?
When Lenegis changed shape, it must have had an effect on the interior, too.
Maybe when they sent the wedge down to Dana?
But they wouldn't move around the places where people live. These are their homes, right?
I would think the citizens themselves didn't have much say in the matter. Either way, locating the Forbidden Zone just became that much trickier.
Dohalim? Is that you?
Avakir, I'm glad to see you're well.
So it is you! But why are you here? Shouldn't you be down on Dana participating in the crown contest? And these people!
So you haven't heard what happened on Dana, then?
Heard what?
Someone you know?
An old friend.
Hey, Dohalim, don't tell me you've started keeping company with...
They're with me. More importantly, What's happened here?
I'm really not sure. The city's foundations began to shift without warning, and now everything looks like this. We're all waiting for the Sovereign to tell us what's happening, but so far...
Avakir, listen to me. We're looking for the Forbidden Zone. Do you have any idea where we might find it?
The Forbidden Zone? What business could you possibly have there?
Trust me. The less you know, the better.
You're just the same as ever. I wish I could help, but what with the changed topography, I can barely locate my own home. Let alone the Forbidden Zone.
Very well. It looks like we'll have to find the way there ourselves.
Have you seen Faria yet?
No.
I see. Well, nothing much has changed with her. If anything, she's probably even more...
I can well imagine.
Why did you come back? You know it can only result in pain for you both.
I've no doubt of that.
You really are the same as ever. Fine, I understand. Just don't say I didn't warn you. And take care of yourself, okay, Do?
So who's Faria?
Law?
If what Avakir said is true, it would seem the people of Lenegis are being kept in the dark about what's happening down on Dana.
They seem to be just as clueless about what's going on up here in their own world. Despite the fact that it's actually here that the wedge originally came from.
We need more information. Let's talk to the citizens, see what we can find out.
While we're at it, we can ask them about the Red Woman, too.
And don't forget about finding the way to the Forbidden Zone either.
Let's leave the talking to Shion. We can't have a bunch of Danans poking their noses around.
Good idea. I think that's for the best.
I shall assist.
You sure?
Being a lord on Lenegis has its advantages.
Right. Then we'll leave it to you two. The Danans among us should probably keep our heads down.
What if people freak out?
I shall explain it away by saying I'm leading you.
What are we, dogs?
I mean, it's kind of hard to explain everything, you know? God, I'm just constantly checking the map because, like... What's on here? Oh, nothing. Literally nothing. At least we could fast travel, I guess. If we need to. Okay, so it seems like, yeah, because of the wedge, and obviously we did see the structure shift around that cutscene. Oh god, my Twitch just refreshed. Anyways, because we saw all that, this would explain it, why this place is in ruins. Oh, oh my god, that scared me. I pressed space and not alt. Oh my god. Anyways, we have a skid, and I was trying to check the name of it, so we could click it. A city torn asunder.
What could be so important? It's worth destroying people's livelihoods and homes in the process. It's just... unbelievable. Uprooting an entire city as if it were mere building blocks. Someone's got an awful lot of questions to answer.
From how it looks, they must be siphoning off astral energy from Dana, and then sending it to Rena.
But why do all this? What for? Surely they can't be using all that energy for the crown contest.
Whatever their purpose, disrupting their siphoning process alone won't be sufficient. Not while we still don't know what their endgame is.
He's right. We need to stop this from happening ever again.
This Forbidden Zone might be where we find some answers, right? So what are we waiting for? Let's get moving!
You heard him. We don't have time to stop and chat. Let's move.
Oh, and another one. An afterthought.
So, I've been wondering, do you think when Lenegis was built, it was even made with people living here in mind?
What do you mean?
Well, none of this happened by coincidence, right? They must have designed it to transform like this. But then, if they knew people were going to live here, you'd think they would have taken that into consideration. to avoid all this chaos.
Ordinarily, yes. You'd think so. Trust me, as far as we were concerned, Lenegis was our home, nothing more. No one knew about all this. It makes you wonder whether the city was just built on as an afterthought. But if so, to what exactly?
Sorry. That probably sounded weird, huh?
Not at all. Sometimes it takes an outsider's eye to help you notice what you've been missing all along. This place is a mystery, that's for sure. Something tells me we'll find answers where we're going, though.
Yeah, you're right, Shion. I'm sure we will.
Okay. And also, real quick, as we all know, the name mentioned, I'm, like, from the guy, of a girl, I think? Yeah, if we all remember earlier cutscenes, we kind of know that whole situation there. Yeah. Nice. And this place got real damaged. Oh. Oh no, the children. Aww. Wait, what's the map here? Look. Okay. Wait, what?
Oh, dear me. What an unspeakable mess this has all become. Just look at the state of our city. Even the Zeugles have stopped heeding our commands. Whatever did we do to deserve this?
You really have no clue what might have caused this?
Would that I have. Alas, there was no warning, no prior decree. His Highness must have deemed it unnecessary for us to know. We have no choice but to grin and bear it. But do my eyes deceive me? Could I really be standing in the presence of his lordship, Dohalim of the House Ilkaris? I believed he was on Dana.
Your eyes do not deceive you. It is I, one and the same. I have returned to fulfill a special duty, the details of which I cannot divulge.
As your lordship wishes. First Lenegis mutates beyond recognition, now this unexpected visit. The Sovereign's plans are inscrutable indeed. The Ilkaris house has produced a great many lords over the centuries. I shall be praying for your victory in the latest crown contest.
Your good wishes do me an honor.
Okay. I'm thinking, but I kind of don't want to say anything just in case I'm jumping to conclusions. So, this is why I'm quiet. I was like, what? Because I saw this in the map and I was like, what? Yeah. Yes, reach anyone. I feel like the game is also kind of lagging for some reason. I don't think it is, but it can't be helped because, yeah. We got the children. God, I have a couple questions, but I don't want to jump to conclusions until we got in our answers. That's a lot of feeling. Oh, years never have I seen such potent healing arts. Thank you so much for taking the time to heal an old woman like me. Ooh, SP.
Everything will be okay now.
I know the basics of healing arts, but my skills pale in comparison.
Your lordship. Oh, what a great honor it is to finally meet you. I descended to Dana during the last crown contest also. Alas, when the contender I was backing failed to clinch the title, I returned. I witnessed the deaths of so many slaves.
Indeed.
Sorry to interrupt, but we're looking for a woman dressed all in red. Have you seen anyone of that description?
All red, eh? No, I can't say I remember anyone like that. I imagine she'd stand out somewhat, too.
Yeah. What about down on Dana during the crown contest? You didn't see anyone like that hanging around the lord you were serving?
What's with all these questions? I've never seen her, okay? Not recently or otherwise. Why do you want to find her anyway?
Never mind. Forget I asked. Sorry to take up your time. Is everything okay? You look a little lost.
Oh, yes. I can't seem to find my way home, is all. I was just about to make my umpteenth attempt at a new route.
I was hoping to head this way myself. The situation is a real pain, huh?
I suppose the Sovereign knows best. I daren't stay here too long, though. A lower caste can only linger around these parts for so long before I outstay my welcome. I was hoping to avoid it, but maybe I'll have to go that way after all.
You mean you know another way round?
Lord Dohalim Ilkaris! But how? Last I heard, you were in Dana competing in the crown contest.
Yes, strange, isn't it? If you know another route, we'd be grateful if you could tell us.
But of course. Please forgive me. There's a wall that sprung up ahead of here, with what looks to be an entrance in it. I thought maybe it was a passageway between the different quarters, but I've no way of knowing for sure.
It's worth investigating, at least. I shall go and assess the situation. In the meantime, wait for me here. If it looks safe, I'll come and let you know.
You'd really do that for me? A lord troubling himself for someone of my lowly status?
Our lot in life is of little consequence. We are both Renan, first and foremost.
Oh, why yes, my lord. Thank you.
Well, we've canvassed the city for information. What do you think?
No one has the faintest idea what's happened to the city after all. They haven't heard the news about the crown contest either.
You'd think that info would easily find its way up here. Has it always been like that?
Not to this extent, which would indicate that something's suppressing the truth, that Lenegis is under some kind of control.
Given everything that's happened to their city, the people here seem weirdly okay with it all.
Yeah, that one guy even said Azoogle had stopped listening to him. If that's true, these people are in big trouble.
Everything that happens here is attributed to the Sovereign's will. It's the way people have been conditioned. Their belief runs deep. Nothing happens devoid of a reason. To them, it's all part of the Sovereign's grand plan.
The Sovereign's plan. There is one thing I'm still not sure about. Just who is this person ruling over Lenegis?
The Sovereign, of course. He rules from Rena while presiding over both Rena and Lenegis.
Without the lords or anyone in the middle doing his dirty work? Isn't Rena at least the same size as Dana? That's a pretty big dominion for one person to rule over. I would have thought ruling Lenegis alone would be difficult enough.
The points you make are valid, though I confess I'd never given it much thought before. Here, the Sovereign's total authority is as natural as night turning to day. Come to think of it, I know nothing of the nature of how Rena itself is. Shion, have you ever been... No, forgive me. Have you met or crossed paths with, or even heard of someone who's actually made a visit to the homeland?
No, I haven't.
Neither have I. In which case, I would imagine that... But no, surely not. Can it really be that no citizen of Lenegis has ever been there?
Hold up, what are you getting at, Dohalim?
Assuming what I believe to be correct, it's possible that no one on Lenegis has ever laid eyes on the actual Renan homeworld itself. No one but the Sovereign, that is.
But what about trade and communication? There's got to be a flow back and forth, surely.
Not if the Sovereign is imposing his will on Lenegis single-handedly. It could be a one-way street.
But I thought you said that the Sovereign's all the way over on Rena. If that's the case, can he really rule directly over Lenegis from so far away? What if something were to happen to the city, like now?
I'm beginning to wonder what the nature of this Sovereign even is. Alphen said he was forced into the role, right? Just before the ceremony. But Sovereign is also the title given to the almighty Renan ruler. So which one is it?
Whoever wins the crown contest inherits the throne from his or her predecessor, before becoming ruler over all of Rena and Lenegis. Thereafter, that individual is known as the Sovereign. Though, it would appear that the current ruler has gone silent. As for how Volron factors into all this, at this point, I no longer know what to believe.
3 centuries ago, I became the Sovereign here on Lenegis. No, not just became, I was forced to. Me, a Danon. 300 years later, we cross paths with Volron, who also bears the Sovereign's crest. That's not the only thing we have in common. We both became Sovereign without winning the crown contest.
Do you think Volron was made Sovereign for the same reason? Because of that ceremony?
I can't say for sure, but it certainly sounds like it.
But that would mean that 2 Sovereigns would need to exist at any one time. One whose job it is to rule, and the other for ceremonial purposes. We never did see Volron's body back in Ganath Haros. Is a new ceremony underway with Volron at its center this time? Could that be what's causing all this strange activity here?
Wait a second. You don't think Volron and the Red Woman are working together, do you? The ceremony can't go forward without the Renis Alma. The same one that the Red Woman stole.
There's something else the ceremony needs. A maiden. And unless there's another one out there aside from me...
Questions, questions, and yet more questions. Ones that it seems will remain unanswered, until we can establish the Sovereign's identity.
If the Forbidden Zone really is off-limits to everyone but the Sovereign, that seems as good a place as any to start. For the sake of liberating Dana, too.
Then it's decided. That's where we need to go.
One of the citizens mentioned a passage that she thought might lead to another section of the city. It could point us in the right direction. Let's go find it!
Oh boy, that's a whole... Oh, we have more skits. We'll play them first, but that's a lot of lore drop. Oh, I do need to redo the food buff. No! I think we had to awkwardly leave this entire area just to do it. We'll find out. Okay. Lenegis' citizenry.
I didn't realize Renans oppressed their own kind, too.
And yet, weirdly, none of them seem to mind. Am I the only one who finds that strange?
It is the way things have always been, so no one thinks to question it. You have experience in that regard yourself, do you not?
Unquestioning acceptance of your own servitude. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Even so, the quality of life here seems much higher than any Danon city we visited. I used to think it was impossible to build an ideal society without wealth. But I suppose having it doesn't always mean people are treated fairly either.
More to the point, not a single citizen seems to have even heard of the Red Woman.
What if she's not here? What if it turns out we're looking in the wrong place entirely?
It's still too early to say anything for sure.
For all we know, she might be able to blend in, move around unnoticed. I say we hold off judgment until we've exhausted every avenue.
Oh, I forgot we have quite a few. The art of conversation.
Tell me, Dohalim, has that skill of yours got a name?
And what skill would this be, pray tell?
You know, when you're talking to people around town. The way they suddenly become putty in your hands.
I'm afraid I don't quite follow.
I do. It's called friendly intimidation. Look imposing and speak in a deep, booming voice, and presto, you'll have people wrapped around your finger in no time.
I would never stoop to such scandalous tricks. Any feelings of intimidation are solely in the eye of the beholder.
So there is a knack to it! How do you learn it? Can anyone do it?
Now you've got me curious. Is there special training to master?
Let's see. An obsession with being elegant is a must. Oh, and it helps to be old-fashioned, too. Bonus points if you speak in a way no one can understand.
If you've a bone to pick with me, it'd be quicker to just come out and say it.
What? They look up to you, that's all. I'm just helping them along.
Hey! What's got into Alvin and Law all of a sudden?
I can barely understand a word they're saying. And what's with the weird poses? Was it something they ate?
I hope you're willing to take the blame for this one.
I wasn't expecting them to take me so seriously. I'll go and have a word with them.
Okay. Right, I also want to check something. How am I even getting any of these things anyway? Like, now that I just think about it. Oh, this activity records is the quest log? I thought it wasn't. Strange. Wait. Oh, we still have so many enemies. Oh boy, look at the stats on these things. Anyways, what are we doing? Still missing. Sorry, I'm just checking stuff. Oh.
With nobody left to run the show, I wonder what the people here are supposed to do. I mean, they're sovereigns up on the Renan homeworld, and all their lords were sent to Dana.
But Dohalim was a lord, right?
Only current acting lords have power. Renan society is quite strict about such matters.
Even if the other lords were still around, I doubt they'd be able to do much about the situation.
I wonder what they'd think if they were here to see Lenegis now. Balsif, Ganabelt, Almadria, and Volron. Now that I think of it, aside from Dohalim, we know next to nothing about the other lords.
Well, yeah, why would we? To us Danans, they were just enemies we needed to overthrow. Nothing more.
I know. But seeing Renans in their own city, going about their day-to-day lives, it gets you thinking.
It feels strange to imagine the lords living here too, you mean?
Yeah, a little.
If you're that curious about them, why not try inquiring with some of the locals? Every lord in their household has their share of supporters here on Lenegis. And luckily for us, the people here are unaware of the events on Dana, which means they should be more inclined to talk to us.
Ooh, we have a whole quest. Seems interesting. Talk to people. Well, let's do that. I don't want to leave the entire area just to get a different buff again, but I guess we could talk to these people about the other ones. Okay, now boys. Okay, let's fix myself in my chair because my foot, ow, and stuff. You want to know which lord I support? Why? Are you out canvassing for someone? Canvassing for someone? I'm with His Excellency. Rolse Tedeles. You probably know him better as Lord Valsa. I know a lot of people consider him to be a giant brute. Believe me, I realize he can be an aggressive man. What those people don't realize is how much he looks after the members of his house. It's fair to say that House Tedeles doesn't enjoy much esteem. Those of us who serve it will be the first to admit that.
Yes!
But His Excellency always stands up against any who would mean us harm. Of that we can be sure. His efforts in the crown contest aren't only for his family, but to improve the standing of each and every member of his house.
Yes!
I owe so much to His Excellency. I could never dream of serving any other lord. Okay.
Balsef had it in him to care about someone other than himself? Really?
It's possible. A change in position can do much to alter one's perspective.
So even he might have had something he wanted to protect.
Okay. Interesting. Wait, why is there only 2 more markers? Oh, right. Well, good thing they don't know what happened on Dana, otherwise, it'd be quite awkward, you know. Lord Dololine, you have returned. Ah, and I see you've brought aides with you. Do you remember who I am, my lord? Surely you must, yes. Not only do I support House Ilkars, but more specifically his lordship personally. So much so, I've been trying to share my appreciation of his lordship to any who will listen. In fact, I was planning to publish my extensive writings on the subject through this very terminal for all to read and enjoy. But since the lines appear to be cut due to the recent tumult, I've been unable to upload them. I know, since you're all here, I'll just read them aloud. There exists a... Oh my god. There exists a most handsome man, a man who radiates beauty, whose every word, every syllable is divine poetry. He hails from the famed House Ilkars, and his name, Lord Dololine. Music is his passion, the arts his great love. The scores of boorish, uncouth men of this land cannot begin to compare to his magnificence. So refined and majestic is his posture. Why the mere thought of it brings me to ecstasy. Once he becomes our sovereign, Rena shall bloom anew, ushering in an era of prosperity for our grand civilization. Until that glorious day comes, I shall forever be praying for his victory, morning, noon, and night. Well, what do you think, my lord? I poured my whole heart into it, hoping to capture your essence. Wait, I forgot to mention anything about his lordship's love for collecting things. Oh my god. Ma'am, we don't need to hear all this, I think, right now. I must take this time while the lines are down to appended. Only then will my masterpiece be complete. Okay, she's actually done.
I guess she intended to spread it throughout all of Lenegis then.
Good thing the lines were down so she couldn't.
It almost sounded like she was praising them too.
Maybe there was more to the guy than at first glance.
I shall refrain from commenting.
Okay, I think it's like, if you want to hear it again, talk to them again. Oh. Well, I never. To think anyone who would try to tear me away from House Valkyris.
What?
What do you want? Don't tell me you work for Lord Dololine or that dreadful Lord Almadria, do you? You don't? Well, don't scare me like that. To answer your question, I come from a house that has served House Valkyries for generations. Indeed, I'm doing all I can to support Lord Ganabeld behind the scenes so that he might emerge victorious. Many think him to be a cruel man, but I insist they're utterly mistaken. Though I won't deny he can be strict, he puts Rena's interests front and center like no one else. Why he advocates that rather than stay confined to Lenegis, we should get on with colonizing Dana and expand our horizons. That way, we will become masters of both worlds and overturn our current minority status on Dana's surface. That is why he seeks to become our next sovereign. Tell me, is there a greater, more noble ambition than that? I think not. It is a pursuit of power for the advancement of all our kind. It is what makes him an exemplary lord, a model above all others. Though I was unable to accompany him myself, my two sons have been blessed with the honor of joining him on the service. As their father, it fills me with endless pride.
Ganabelt was so horrible to people, yet he was invested in helping Rena succeed. Doesn't that seem just a little inconsistent?
I'm perhaps biased in this matter, I admit. However, in my mind, while all lords vie to become the next sovereign, they're also meant to serve as guardians of all of Rena.
It seems like Ganabelt also had people he cared about until the very end.
So why couldn't he extend that to us Danans?
Interesting. It's not that. Okay, it's in the other areas. Okay. Wait, now that I think about it. Oh no, it doesn't. Wait, is it? Oh wow, it organizes. Okay. I thought it would tell me how many are on that list, but guess not. Let's see what's this way. Although I do want to go back to a campfire and get a food buff.
This area doesn't look as badly damaged as that other district we went through.
Indeed. The effects of Lenegis' transformation appear to be less pronounced here. Or, viewed another way, this area was simply luckier.
Pardon me.
This area falls under the sole jurisdiction of House Kyneris. I must ask you to depart at once. Surely you don't claim to be ignorant of our famed house, ruled over by the esteemed Lord Almatria. If so, I urge you to listen well. In fact, I bid you listen carefully regardless. Have you ever noticed how in the history of Lenegis, only a few women lords have emerged to compete in the crown contest? Many have theories as to why this might be, but Lord Almatria quashed the doubts of any naysayers through sheer might. In fact, not only did she usurp her father and previous family master, she also removed her older brother to claim the seat for herself. She is a woman who stops at nothing to get what she wants, who gives her enemies nary the slightest opening to strike. Truly, Lord Almatria is a woman of talent. No one in all Rena better exemplifies the virtues of our nation's meritocracy? I can't pronounce that. Soon, the age of a glorious woman sovereign reigning over Lenegis shall be upon us at last.
I guess her willingness to stoop to any low came from a survival of the fittest worldview.
And some people here not only shared her belief, but championed it as morally right too.
That doesn't make it true. Too bad they couldn't see through her.
Yeah.
Sorry, there's text in the corner if you guys could still read it. Suspicious. Where are we going story-wise? I guess that way. Oh my mouse was literally off the screen. Oh, that's concerned me. Let's look around. I thought that was a switch for some reason. Aw. he say?
Ridiculous.
How loathsome. Oh, I was just reading about Volron. Can I help you?
Okay.
I was always an ardent supporter of Lord Urwagil Hildress myself. Were it not for his sudden death down on the surface, I likely still would be. In my eyes, Lord Urwagil is the true Water Lord. I don't believe for a second that he perished in some accident like they say. As for how Volron runs Ganeth Harrows, don't get me started. I hear he enslaves not only Danans, but even his fellow Renans. We may live in a society where to the victor goes the spoils, but his actions go against what we as people stand for. Besides, just what sort of family line is this house Ignaceri of his anyway? I never heard of it until he came along, which means they must be among the lowest dregs of society. That such an ignoble lineage could suddenly produce an astral artist capable of ascending to lordship is unheard of. None of it makes any sense, not to mention all of the upheaval around here of late. What is happening to our people?
It seems like the people on Lenegis don't really know much about Volron either.
I remember being quite surprised when the Lord of Ganeth Harrows changed so abruptly.
Didn't you have any doubts that something suspicious was going on?
On the contrary. Remember, we Renans are raised to accept everything at face value.
When you think about it, the families of Renan lords must see them differently than the rest of us.
Yeah, despite the brutality they're known for.
They must have had a lot on their shoulders, carrying all the weight and responsibilities of Renan society.
Renans live in a world where strength and power determine their position in the social hierarchy, so they tend to grow up fiercely competitive. But their loyalty to their people is also strong. It's what brings them together against outside forces, and nothing exemplifies that more than the Lords.
That's what makes them the guardians of all of Rena, so to speak.
Right. It's the same reason Balsif hated my guts, and Ganabelt went after you. Because we're threats to Rena.
Guess that makes you an even bigger oddball than we thought.
So, Alphen, have you gained anything from all of this?
Yeah. I think it's made me realize that the Lords were all people, too. Balsif and the others, they all had their own circumstances to deal with as they went through life.
Yeah, but still, just because they had loved ones in their lives doesn't mean...
I know. What they did was horrible. I'm not trying to dispute that. But at the same time, they weren't incomprehensible monsters either. They were individuals, just like the rest of us. So I guess what I'm trying to say is...
You're saying that they weren't bad because they were Renans, or because they were terrible monsters. Even if they did terrible things, they were still just people.
Rinwell.
Am I wrong?
Not at all.
Being a Danan doesn't make you a good person. And being a Renan doesn't make you a bad one. I think that's something we've all seen.
Shion and Dohalim definitely make a good case for it.
And I'm going to keep doing my best to make sure I earn that trust. As a fellow human being above all else.
Oh, my throat hurts. Okay, let's go get some skills. Upset. And when it is filled in. Did I skip someone? Oh yeah, I did. Okay. Guess we could go down here now. Oh dear, what's... Oh, using cards, I think. I was like, what's happening over there? Why do I want to think there's an owl somewhere in this entire area? Although it kind of makes no sense. Why is an owl in, Okay, let's keep going. Oh.
There's something I just don't get.
What is it?
The crown contest itself has always gone ahead as planned, right? In which case, the current Sovereign of Rena should be whoever it was that won the previous contest.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, who was it then?
Hanfried Milgras, the former Lord of Cislodia, if memory serves.
So then this Hanfried whatchamacallem, he's the current ruler of Rena?
The last I heard, yes. Though, admittedly, I haven't actually seen him since the end of the previous contest.
You're saying that ever since becoming Sovereign, he's never actually shown himself on Lenegus?
I guess over holocom maybe, but not in the flesh. Same thing goes for the Sovereign that came before him.
Now that you mention it, I don't recall anyone ever visiting Lenegus from the motherland, Sovereign or otherwise.
And that never struck you as a little bit odd?
When you live here, it's as if you're conditioned not to notice all these strange quirks and discrepancies. The question is then, by whom? And to what end?
A new Renis Alma is supposedly created to coincide with every crown contest, meaning each victor is awarded their very own. In other words, if that's true, there should be as many of the things out there as there have been contests.
True, but going on what we witnessed in Pelagian, it didn't look like the sort of thing that could be made to order. But if even the victor's speeches have been part of some grand deception, then where are they? Quite frankly, I'm not even sure what to believe anymore.
You and me both. Though we are Renin by blood, neither of us even knew that such a thing as a Dark Master Core existed, remember?
With any luck, the Forbidden Zone might give us some answers.
No use standing around here chatting about it then. Let's get a move on.
Yeah. Let's, do that. Okay.
Doe?
Faria.
Varia? Isn't that the person that Avakir guy was...
But why are you here? Wait. Don't tell me you've given up on the crown contest and come crawling back home from Dana already. Nothing to say? Even though you were willing to kill Tarnigan to secure your position as Lord, you still...
Kill?
I'm here to take care of something. If you wish to continue this conversation, I only ask that you wait until I'm finished.
Oh, of course. You always did prefer to take the coward's way out. Even after 7 years and living on that Danon rock, you haven't changed one bit. But let me tell you, I haven't changed either. Not a day's gone by the past 7 years that I haven't hated you.
If killing me will bring you peace, then so be it.
Dohalim, what the hell are you saying?
First, I have business to take care of. If it's vengeance you seek, I will grant you it. But you must wait. My sins are legion. Let me finish what I came to do. Then you have my word. I will let you do whatever brings you peace.
Sure, that's it. Run away like always. You don't even have the courage to die. No wonder you leave it to someone else. You're just a coward!
Dohalim.
I apologize that you had to witness that.
Is it true? What she said about you killing someone?
Each of us have our pasts. I am no exception.
Before, back in Menancia, you mentioned having taken a friend's life over the throne. Is that what she meant?
The mistakes I made there were not my first, and may not be my last. I will say no more.
Did you mean what you said? About letting her take your life if she wanted to?
She has more right to my life than anyone.
But you can't just...
Whatever happens, I have sworn to put an end to the crown contest, and to ensure continued coexistence in Menancia. I have no intention of expiring before I do so. There are far too many questions I still seek answers to. Besides, you have just as much reason to kill me as she does.
Dohalim!
Forgive me. Some things are best left unsaid.
Okay. Well, we met, someone. And, I don't know what to say, but, well, for starters, I don't know anyone in the world, or am aware of someone in the world who would have a grudge like that for 7 years. Like, I mean, I get what happened, but for 7 years, though. And, two, I feel like that red woman is gonna brainwash her or something to be a puppet in this whole plan. Like, an enemy or something. So, that's, something. Oh, no. Just realized what it could mean. Anyways, let's, keep going. We're still exploring everything. Checking out the corners just in case. Like this. I've got my keys. I seriously keep forgetting to get a new keyboard. They're all trying to deal with their own problems. Oh!
Wow, this place is beautiful!
Yeah. It must be some sort of rest and leisure area for the locals.
You think? Man, these Renan sure know how to live it up, don't they?
Is something the matter, Dohalim?
Before I went down to Dana, my friends and I, we used to gather at this very spot and play music together. Avakir, Faria, and Tarnigan. That was a lifetime ago now.
Tarnigan. He was the one that Faria mentioned, right?
He was once my dearest, closest friend. As well as Faria's betrothed. Despite Faria's lower-class upbringing, she possesses a tremendous talent for music. Entranced by her playing, I helped her overcome her sense of inferiority and introduced her to Tarnagin and Avakir. It was a time of great joy. 4 people bound only by their love of music, with no care for social standing. Only the next song, the next melody.
A friendship based on mutual respect, and a society where everyone is a prisoner to their social class. You really are different, Dohalim.
I suppose it's natural you would see it as strange.
I would have, once. Now, I think the idea of breaking away from society's constraints and choosing your friends based solely on affection is something beautiful that's worth cherishing. Besides, it was that way of looking at the world that laid the foundations for coexistence in Menancia.
Your praise does me too great an honor. I was merely following the wishes of my own heart. And even then, it only lasted until the crown contest began. After that, Tarnagin and I became fierce competitors for the position of Lord. Tarnagin had fallen for Faria. By becoming Lord, he aimed to wrest her from her humble origins and raise her to the highest echelons of society. But fate was not so benevolent.
What happened?
Tarnagin was no match for me in combat. On a level playing field, he wouldn't have stood a chance. But he was desperate and low on options, and he couldn't stand the thought of defeat.
You mean he resorted to dirty tactics to try to win, right? But then why does Faria think... Wait, don't tell me she doesn't know.
How could I tell her? Combined with the trauma of losing her beloved, and by her friend's hand, no less. She would have been devastated.
So instead you let her go on hating you, so she could use that hate as a crutch for her grief?
That's not the same as running away, though.
It is exactly the same. Unable to face the loss of my friend and the burden of my duty. Instead, I decried my fate and looked away from what I'd done. As for what happened after, that you already know.
But if you hadn't become Lord, Menancia wouldn't be what it is now. The Danans there would still be suffering under Renan oppression like before.
Shion's right. What other lord would have treated me as you did? Anyone else and I would have been dead long ago. You've saved so many people, Dohalim. You saved me. It's thanks to you that I'm here today. So, try not to blame yourself. The burden you've placed on your own shoulders is too much for anyone to bear.
Frank as always. But I shall do my best to heed your advice.
Do you think he'll be all right?
Yeah, I think so. He's got Kisara.
It's important to have someone like that.
I didn't realize how difficult it is just to be there for someone.
Sometimes just knowing someone's on your side can be enough. And he knows, Shion. I promise he does.
I hope you're right. Alphen.
Yeah?
I never appreciated until recently just how much you were always there to support me.
It goes both ways. You've helped me keep going more times than I can count.
Maybe, but I still wanted to say thank you.
Oh boy. So much. And just also sing. Dialogue. There's so much like space. I keep thinking there might be something that's like hidden away. Just want to check.
What do you say we check back in on the ranch?
I see a medic and supply officer over there. If they know you're with me, they'll likely offer their assistance.
Ah, yes. Swords. What means? Okay. Is there anything we can do? Oh wow. Yeah. Oh, I can get everything. We can get a few things. Eventually I will create the. Ooh. I'll create the jump weapons. Okay, we'll definitely craft the weapons. Definitely gonna create every weapon at least like once. That's so expensive. It's fine. Oh dear, our gal, the number is gonna drain from this. I need it. His stats. High roller, I got an achievement. I think it's because of the name of the gal. Just... Can I sell random things? I guess I can, but not now. And we don't need to deal with this.
Have you guys checked your equipment lately?
Oh, that was so pricey! Jeez. Just by all means. Yeah, let's do that. I want a new food buff. Okay, wait, what is the new thing I got? Oh, I didn't have to say. Yeah, I did that before. Oh, wow. Oh, wow, we don't have a lot. How did I not have? Nah, whatever. Just looking at the other things. Where was the one that I had before, like, a CP? Oh, this. Okay. Let's see. I'm trying to look at what recipes I didn't do yet and which ones I have made. Okay, this one I got and it's brand new, so.
Whoa, that came out perfect. Hoodle, no, that's mine.
Never thought I'd see you fighting Hootle over food of all things. Normally, you share everything you have with him.
Yeah, but this is a fancy parfait. Every girl dreams of having one of these.
Is it really that big of a deal?
Please don't bring me into this.
It's always nice to eat something that fulfilling.
I can't believe I actually get to have it all for myself. Every little bite makes me so happy.
But isn't that parfait gonna cost you quite a lot more than your regular ice cream choice?
That's all the more reason for me to enjoy it. Everyone knows it takes lots and lots of sweets to stay full of energy.
Everybody, a cream monster has devoured Rinwell.
At times such as these, it would be best to just let her do as she wishes.
Yeah, definitely.
Dohalim's right. If someone's trying to enjoy their favorite food, just leave them to it and don't bother them.
Yep, can't argue with that.
I don't get women.
So good.
Noodle is so disappointed. Noodle doesn't get to eat any. Isn't it bad for animal state sweets, though? So, realistically, it's a good choice not to let Noodle eat it. I also just remembered what one comment I was supposed to make, like, right after the cutscene before. I'm like, oh, so that explains why someone would keep Kate for 7 years. It's like you were, romantically involved with someone. I mean, understandable. That's a little more understandable than anything else.
Damn it, Lenegis soldiers.
Any way we can avoid fighting them?
That all depends on them. Whatever happens, be ready.
Well,
So much for them not wanting to fight.
Oh! I am Lord Dohalim of Elda Menancia. I command you.
Rest of the city must be erased.
No. Have they been brainwashed too?
Brainwashed or not, if they want to fight, they got one. It's almost too strong.
Split it open!
Be my guest. Here it comes.
oh wow.
Here's a healing arm. Holy murder!
I'll smash you!
My shield?
I'm not done! Drag it down! I'm in the group!
Take it!
I'm not done! I'll tear you up!
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished.
Lightning condemned! There!
Not a chance.
You're mine!
Crossbreaking
broken!
Here goes!
Double Demon Fang!
Hurricane!
Dragon Sword!
Now! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished.
Those soldiers seem different from the citizens we've come across so far.
Yeah, they weren't big talkers, that's for sure. They just attacked without warning.
They weren't in the least bit fazed by Dohalim's presence either.
Indeed. They seem to recognize us as enemies, nothing more. And yet, traditionally, Lenegis hasn't been high on threats. A few frenzied Zeugles during experiments here and there, but not much else.
Their glazed-over eyes reminded me of the soldiers and slaves we met back in Ganath Haros. The ones in blind devotion to Volron.
I've never seen anything like that here on Lenegis before.
Maybe someone doesn't want us here, and the soldiers are their way of letting us know.
What with the Red Woman, the Sovereign, and Volron, we're starting to develop quite the growing list of adversaries. At least we'll know to keep our wits about us.
Okay. Map. Oh, all the way there. Wow, we had to go through a whole maze. That's fine. Oh dear! That's terrifying. Okay, we're around the level of the enemies, roughly. Oh, that's a normal enemy too, but it looks like the mantis. Dear, what's this?
Go no further!
You're mine!
Radiant
Double Demon Fang!
Eat this! In a bind?
These ones can run rings around us!
The flame inside me yearns to be let free!
Flame of fury!
Eat this!
Double Demon
Do it!
Fang!
Blazing flame!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished.
The flames will
Leave the ensnaring to me.
Yeah, and pummeling to me.
Reload! Out of
Double
there!
demon fang! I'm on it! Wind! Hey! Blow them away!
I'm all stuffed up!
First
Annihilation!
strike! Double demon fang!
Force!
It's on! Talon hurricane!
This should make for some good weapon crafting material.
I guess like more materials for something else. But we spend most of our gal upgrading weapons, so no, not right now. It'll be later.
Let's dispose of the trash.
Anyway, no.
The earth.
Eat this!
Raging Cascade!
You picked the wrong fight. Double demon fang! Turn to cross blade.
Pull myself together.
Try this! Eagle dive! Explosive ring! Tear you apart! Now that's freaking done it! Dragon swarm!
Charge like that could easily be fatal.
Just as well, I'm here to stop.
Double demon fang!
Here's where you came from. First in the wind! Air thrust! Lightning
Try harder. Not a chance.
Lunar blast!
Blazing
That's
flame!
the fray!
Dragon swarm!
Hydrogenor! I'll heal you all!
Raising flame!
Healing
Double
circle!
demon fang! First strike! Talon hurricane! That freaking does it!
Dance in the wind!
Dragon swarm!
Air thrust! Burning blast! Laser
Take
laser!
it!
Pierce
This
evil!
one's all mine! It's
I'll
over!
heal all!
No further!
Like that didn't work.
That freaking
Healing
does it!
circle!
You're finished!
Laser ray! Just wait!
Dragon swarm!
Thanks! Just burning strike! Glacial spear! Pierce
Not
evil!
tonight!
Raging hurricane! Freeze blast!
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! Eat this! I'll tear you apart!
The flames will roar! Healing
Dragon
circle!
swarm!
Here!
Now I'm in trouble!
Hear my
Take
call!
this! Double demon
Blood!
fang!
Holy God!
Dragon
No
swarm!
more playing nice! Radiant claw!
Hurricane!
Here!
this!
Water
I was a little too late.
Take it!
Dragon
I'm
swarm!
only getting
Now you see what I can do! No escape!
I'm out of
That
arrows!
freaking
Ouch!
does it!
Oh dear.
Now or never.
Healing circle! Raging
Dragon
hurricane!
swarm! I could do this all day!
It's time to finish this! Die! Consuming wildfire! Searing flame!
You're mine!
Lightning condemned!
Double
Lunar
demon
blast! Thunder flame! Illuminate!
Does it? Take this!
Holy glimmer! Holy land!
Double demon fang! That freaking does it!
Oh my god.
Severing wind! That's enough! This one's all mine!
Need to pull myself together.
Ignite!
I hate to say.
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
Searing flame! Reload!
Here I come! Eagle dive! Talon storm!
Glacial spear! Here's evil!
Rising falcon!
I'll bring you down!
I'm not done!
Now! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished.
Oh dear. Enemy's tough.
Am I on a roll or what?
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood.
Okay, that was not fun.
It'll be a breeze. Get in, get out. Blazing ticket! Armor won't save you! My shield! I'm going in! I'll finish you here and now!
Oh hey, at least you're gonna get some EXP.
This one's all mine!
Take this! Here I come! Dragon swarm! Anything in order is all mine! Watch it! Dragon swarm! Armor won't save you! Here I
Oh gosh. Everything's crazy.
Rising falcon! Burn it!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished.
Here I come! Prepare Flashing Fang!
I need to be stronger.
Oh dear. Oh, we're now getting platinum dog tags. Fun. Anyways. What I know. This.
Out of our way!
You're mine!
Now you'll learn!
You're mine! In a vine? But not there!
They really don't give up, do they?
You've got spirit!
I never miss!
It's over! The flame inside me yearns to be let free! Burn!
Here! Lightning
You're mine!
Lunar Paladin! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
I'll heal you all! Chinese
You're mine!
Supernova! Dance in the wind!
Dragon Form!
Do it!
Oh no, I missed it. I missed the prompt.
Get toasty!
Burn strike!
I missed the prompt the first time.
I wonder if we can make new weapons with this.
Oh, we will. Just not yet. At least they're getting materials. Nice. Shortcake recipe. Yummy. I think this thing will have to disappear.
Those soldiers don't seem to have any qualms about attacking on sight.
Is someone making them stand guard over the Forbidden Zone?
Is the Forbidden Zone this way? I don't know. Who knows?
It'll be a breeze.
Oh no, not again.
Here's evil!
Already.
Dragon Form!
Hurricane!
Double Demon Flame!
I think I'll pass on the handshake.
Yearns to be let free! All citizens, Dragon Form! I'll crush you! Lightning Reflexes! Tenebrous Claw! Dragon Shout! Hurricane! Ignite! Off my burning!
Oh gosh, Bruno's HP.
Dragon Form! Raining Slot! Hurricane!
Everyone, get back! It's
Oh,
too
God.
dangerous!
Armor won't save! I'm on a
You're
roll
dead.
now!
Healing circle!
That freaking does
Just
it!
what I needed.
Here I come! I could do this all day! Severing Ring! Rising Focus!
I never miss!
Inspiration!
Light action! I'll take it from here. Let's see how you handle this! Deus Roar!
Oh my god. Finally used to Mystica outside of the arena.
Strike! Try harder! Here I come! Now I'm in the groove! You're finished! Severing Ring! It's on! Ignite!
By the power of
Here I come! Double Demon Fang! Dragon Form!
in the wind! Feel!
Now I'm in the groove! Demon Fang!
Saving this one!
Now you see what I can do!
Illuminate shadow!
Ouch, ouch, ouch. Don't care.
Too much to handle?
No escape! I'll stop its charge!
Thanks, Kisara.
Rip and
I
tear!
will wall!
You're mine!
Healing
Double
lightning
Demon
orb!
Fang! Come and get it!
Lightning condemned!
Off my try hard! My turn!
Thunderblade!
You're mine! Dragon Shout! I'm not
Eat
done!
this field!
Strike!
Water astral
Dragon
blade!
Take this! Rolling snap!
I never miss!
Strike! Go time! Ignite!
I'll heal you all!
Dragon Swarm! Goodwill! Demons Descent! Flashing Fang! These bad guys really don't mess around.
It does say. Ugh. Okay, so I'm facing the way I have to go. Okay, just a little lost. Oh, there's a horse in here.
No
Here's a
backing
healing
down! No further! Eat this! You're mine!
To pull myself together.
Oh no! Oh god! Oh gosh!
You require a hand.
It's like trying to protect the wall! Annihilate! Searing flame!
Sleep now.
won't save you! You're mine!
More for the stockpile.
I'll tear you apart! Can't get out of this!
No, wrong enemy. Activate.
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
The dialogue is overrated so.
Watch this!
Do it! Shion, astral energy, full throttle! Water,
My
heal
turn!
I call!
Dragon swarm!
More with that way!
Struck!
Glacial spear!
All mine!
Eagle
Double
Ball!
demon fang! Severing wing!
Ouch!
Now!
Maelstrom!
Dust to dust! Double demon fang!
Graviton field!
Flew away! Raining
Raging orb!
You're mine!
Here, let me help. Tempest
Double
Wave!
demon fang! Severing
Now!
wing! Demons descend! Flashing fang!
Here's a healing arc!
Blazing flame!
Crusade!
Prepare to be sealed!
Mega ray! Back into the
Ready! Ready and ready!
Annihilation!
I can carve through armor!
Mega ray!
Double demon fang!
Kitara frozen!
Hammer!
Oh my gosh.
A comfortable win.
I love these. Ah.
Gotta break through! Bring him down! Take this! Raising flame!
Reload!
It's over! Double demon fang!
I'm the true
Severing wing!
gunslinger around here.
You're mine! I'm rising! Easter! Take this! Dragon swarm! I owe you one! It's time! Thanks! Rising fire! Take support! Try harder! No chance!
Eagle Ball! I never miss!
Here I come!
Oh gosh, I'm clearly.
Double demon fang!
Will this help?
Dragon swarm! My turn! I'm not done! Dragon swarm!
Pull myself
Blow
together.
away!
Already out, almost out of the
You're mine! Lewis! Ignite! Take this!
Now!
Struck! Goodwill! Demons descend! Flashing fang!
Oh boy.
With this, I can become even stronger.
Right, here goes! I see one, eh? Dragon swarm! I'm not done! I'll smash you! My shield!
You think that shield will save you?
Oh gosh, I am
Let it
stuck.
rip! I can do this all day! Dragon coming through!
Just attack everything.
Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Oh boy. Okay.
Here I come!
I never miss.
Can't get out of this!
Again.
Do it! Totally! In an instant! Impact cross! Not a chance!
There!
Dragon swarm! Dragon swarm! Call that! Double demon fang!
First aid!
Win! Do it! Oh! Look sharp! Lightning tiger
Oh
ready!
dear.
Dragon swarm! You're mine! I'm not done! Watch this! You're finished! Dragon swarm! Glimmer blade! Prepare to be sealed! Save you!
Do it here! Law!
Demons descend! Flashing fang!
Oh my goodness.
How much longer will our healing arts last?
I plan to recover it soon, maybe. I don't know. I will. Don't worry. What's this? This takes me to.
This must be it. The entrance to the Forbidden Zone.
But it's just a wall. How do we get through?
Whoa, we? I thought this was Sovereigns only.
Alphen.
Yes! It opened!
Interesting. If Alphen's presence still opens the way, it would seem the Sovereign of 3 centuries ago and now are considered one and the same.
What?
What the?
Alphen.
You again.
Tomorrow's the spirit channeling ceremony. We'll finally play our parts as the Sovereign and Maiden. How have you been feeling?
What am I sovereign of? Shuffled from lab to lab, always treated like an experiment. Whenever they look at me, all they see is a Dahnan. I don't even know what their precious ceremony's for. Let alone what they're going to force me to do as the Sovereign. Tell me, if we're both in the same boat, why do you seem so calm right now?
No choice. Becoming the Maiden's not something I wanted for myself. But they said Rena's prosperity depended on it. How could I say no after that?
Still, as a Renan, at least you got to decide. Good for you. Meanwhile, I was taken from my homeland. You aren't the captive one here.
It isn't right what they did to you, and I'm sorry for what it's worth. When this is over, I swear I'll help you get home. I can't do this alone. One more day.
How could I say no to that? It's not like I have any choice in the matter anyway. So, what's your name?
It's Naori. Naori Imaris. Try to remember this time.
You don't act like them. Like the other Renans, I mean. How come you treat me like a person?
Because you are. It's true we come from different worlds. But neither one of us asked to be here right now. In that sense, you and I are much the same. We couldn't do this. We wouldn't be able to talk to each other as people if we didn't see the humanity in each other. So I suppose the question you should be asking is, why wouldn't I treat you like one?
You're not like the others.
Maybe they're not like me.
Here's what we'll do. We give them their damn ceremony. You get me to Dana. That'll be the end of it. I'm taking you at your word on this. I'm trusting you, not them. Naori.
What the hell just happened?
That vision. Did everyone else see it too?
That person Alphen was speaking to. She looked exactly like Shion.
It was Naori. Naori Imaris. Isn't that right?
Yeah, that's right.
She really does look like Shion. I'm beginning to see why Alphen was so confused.
That's all very well and fine, but what did we just witness exactly? It was too real to be a mere hallucination.
It was a conversation we had 300 years ago. The night before the ceremony.
You mean all of that really happened? We just saw an episode straight out of your past?
But how is that even possible? Unless... Could this be the Red Woman's handiwork too?
No, I don't think so.
Why not?
You guys didn't feel it? The moment the entrance opened, it was like a stream of Danon astral energy rushing over us.
I felt it too. And not for the first time either. It was the same sensation as back inside the wedge.
That would make sense. After all, vast amounts of Dana's astral energy were being siphoned and sent up here to Lenegis. For all we know, perhaps we're close to the spot where all that energy was stored.
So you think it might have been the energy itself that was responsible for that vision we just saw? But how? And why?
We have no way of knowing. Maybe it's not even as deliberate as all that.
Shion, you okay?
Yeah, it was all just a little sudden, that's all. So that was my ancestor, huh? It was like looking into a mirror.
Yeah, there certainly is a resemblance.
What about you? How are you holding up?
Me?
Even putting aside the question of where that vision came from, it's likely we'll see more of those. Reliving painful episodes from your past. Do you think you can handle it?
I can't just pretend like the past never happened. Besides, if it helps us uncover the truth of what that ceremony really was, it might also lead to answers about your thorns.
Alphen.
That's not all. This whole time, we've been fighting to free Dana from the Renans. But now that we're here, it seems those same Renans might have it just as bad. I'd like to liberate them too if I can. Which is just another reason I can't afford to shield my eyes from the truth.
Whether you're on Dana or somewhere else, you always stay the same. Your indignation and righteous passion, your desire to free and protect, they're all hardwired into you. Not that I'm complaining. Come on, let's bust this thing wide open.
Nobody's here.
Stay sharp. After that last illusion, there's no telling what could happen in here.
Oh dear, we have a healy spot over there. That's fun. Let me check something. Oh no, we're gonna be forced into a battle. And this part of the game is like, we can literally leave, by the way. We can literally leave. Which is interesting. I don't trust what's coming up, but let's save. I have some spare time. I don't know. I could go on for like half an hour more, so. Okay, I did save before this. What are we gonna fight?
Faria, how did you get in here?
Wait, something about her isn't right.
What's wrong with her? She doesn't even seem to know where she is.
Yeah, you're right. She looks just like the soldiers we encountered outside.
A summoning?
But that's preposterous. She never had that kind of power when—
We can talk later. Here it comes!
What? I've never known Faria to control Zoogles like that before.
How about with a stone that looks suspiciously like a master core?
What the? Where did she get her hands on that?
First we handled the Zoogles, then we kept some answers.
Hit him where?
I'm not done! I'm on Demon Fang! All citizens here and now! You're mine! You may be strong.
That red woman definitely did something.
Armor won't save you! Take this! Can't get out of this! Double Demon Fang! Dragon Swarm! You're mine! Double Demon Fang! The flame inside me yearns to be let free!
What is happening?
Roll now!
Oh no!
Come! Eat dirt! Inspiration! Here I come! Do this all day! I'm out of ammo! Burning! Crush! Swallow dead! Shattering to pieces! Right inside! Severing wings! Shouldn't have messed with me! Keeps charging us!
That's what my shield's for. Get behind me.
Here we go.
I'll leave it to you! I'm on it! Dragon Swarm! Hurricane! Eagle Dive! I'm not done! Now you see what I can do! It's over! Double Demon Fang! Dragon Swarm! I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous Claw! Eat this! Raging Flame!
Oh god. Ah!
Lost my foot!
I'll heal you all.
Here I come! I can do this all day! Now, while it's real,
Oh no!
you'll pay for that! Swallow dead! Here I come! Watch this! Dragon Swarm! Eat dirt! Hurricane!
Done.
Double Demon Fang! Dragon Swarm!
Shion, astral energy, full throttle!
Right. Now we're at the halfway point.
Double Demon Fang! Dragon Swarm!
By the power of the
Take this!
that'll bring you down.
I'm on it! Rip it down!
Oh no! No!
Here comes the big one!
Oh gosh. Almost.
Stay away from my friends! First strike!
Resuscitation! Will this help? Still got some fight left in me.
I am literally.
I owe you one!
Heal. Dead. Don't get hit.
Double Demon Fang! Crumble!
Honestly, not dead.
Wind! Inspiration! I've let you all down.
No!
This it?
I'll be saving this way.
Oh dear. Just use a bottle to get one of us.
Raging storm!
Try harder!
Oh, I dodged.
I'll bring you back from death's abyss.
Double Demon Fang! In a bind?
Wish I could do this.
Will this help?
Take this!
Healing circle! Lightning
I'm on
orb!
it!
Lightning dead! Thunder blade!
I'm on it!
Oh no, not again.
Mega ray!
Oh, I can't use the thing.
Back from death's
I can
abyss.
do this all day!
Resuscitation! I will still have some fight left
I'll
in me.
finish you here and now!
Healing circle! Water astral energy!
You picked the wrong fight! You're mine!
Raging cascade!
Dragon Swarm! Take this! Blew away! Double Demon Fang! Crush!
In a bind?
Double Demon Fang!
See what happened there as you crossed me.
Just got him on the run.
Don't get cocky!
Right. Still anyone's fight.
There I go.
Hurricane! Dragon Swarm! Take this! Dragon Swarm! I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous Claw! I'm on it!
I never miss! Thunder blade!
Inspiration!
I could do this all day.
Healing
I'm on
circle! Thanks so much!
Lightning defense!
Oh no!
This one's all mine! Ignite!
I can't.
All
Here I come!
disasters healing
Let's try harder! I owe you one! You're mine! Dragon Swarm!
Can't break the core.
I owe you one! Dragon Swarm! Ready to go! That freaking
No!
can't end it!
Don't give up!
Okay, revive one of us with the life bottle.
This should do it!
I'll bring you back from death's abyss.
Try harder!
I can't heal you forever.
Oh dear. Yeah. Okay.
In a bind. Denied.
Searing flame! Reload!
Double demon fang. I'm not done. Now you see what I can do.
Mega ray!
Oh, there we go. Perfect.
Now, get toasty!
Burn strike.
Oh dear.
Now it's just her.
Faria! Can you hear me? Faria!
She's preparing another summoning!
The art she's casting is way too powerful to control. At this rate, her body won't be able to take much more. Dohalim!
Forgive me.
Man, I thought we were goners.
Everything okay?
Yes. She's only unconscious.
Not her. I meant you.
Shion, please. Can you treat her?
I can try, but I can't promise she'll be back to her real self when she wakes up. All I can do is heal her physically.
We're not even supposed to be in here. Maybe it'd be better if we moved her to somewhere a little safer. Don't you think?
In that case...
I'll take her off your hands.
You?
Avakir, what are you doing here?
I was curious what you were up to, so I took the liberty of following you to find out. I overheard what you said about Tarnigan, about how he really died. I'm sorry, I had no idea.
And you believed me? What makes you so sure I wasn't lying?
I like to think I know you a little better than that, Dohalim. Give me some credit. I'll take Faria. Leave her with me. I know better than to ask what you're up to. But whatever it is, I hope it all works out.
Thank you.
He seems like a good friend.
He hasn't changed. He never was one to stand out. Instead, he was always hanging back, worrying about everyone else. As for Faria, it's always the closest to me who get hurt.
You don't seriously blame yourself for what happened to her, do you?
Somebody got to her, to strike back at me. Someone who knew me well enough to know that I'd hesitate to fight back. And the same goes for you as well. Neither you nor Faria would have lost loved ones, if it wasn't for me.
You're wrong. Kelzalik was the one who killed my brother, under orders from Almadria. As for Tarnigan, if it weren't for the crown contest, he'd still be alive. That and the whole damn hierarchy that makes it possible. But that's why we're fighting. To put an end to this whole messed up system that treats people as expendable.
Indeed. Ridding society of this blight is really the only way I know how to atone for my sins.
You can't atone, Dohalim. I know it hurts to hear, but those people are dead. No amount of soul-searching or trying to make amends is going to change that. Forgiveness, acceptance, those ships have sailed.
So I just forget the harm I caused?
No, the opposite, in fact. You remember. You never forget. You keep it in your heart always. And then you go on living. Not for those already past, but for those still alive.
For those still alive.
Kisara's right. So long as we've still got breath in our bodies, we can make a difference in the lives of others. Lives being the operative word.
That's what living's all about. Being able to still make a difference. Punishing yourself for the past won't make the pain of your conscience go away.
Only fixing the problem in its stead. Is that what you're saying?
That's right. You have to live for tomorrow, Dohalim, not for yesterday. And not only that, you need to live for yourself, and for the change that you still can be.
I shall try.
Don't forget, we've still got a mystery to solve. The Forbidden Zone, remember?
Shion,
Huh?
thank you. You have my deepest gratitude for what you did for Faria.
Glad to be of service.
I'm glad we could stop Faria without hurting her.
You all did much for her as well. I'm most grateful.
Oh, shucks. We're on the same team, right? Let's move on.
I thought it was tough, but first let's do this.
Do you think Faria was really being controlled by someone?
Certainly seemed that way. The question is, who? The Red Woman?
The same person who's behind all of this, I'll bet. Whoever that is.
Brainwashed or otherwise, the feelings of resentment she holds towards me are real.
Someone used her because they knew we'd hold back. If that's not playing dirty, I don't know what is.
It does tell us one thing at least. Someone here in Lenegis is watching us. Someone who means us harm.
There's no question. That attack was meant for us alone.
By someone capable of getting inside a person and manipulating them like a weapon. We need to find whoever it is, fast.
Okay, obviously.
What is it, Rinwell? Do you hear something again?
Yeah. It's that voice.
The will of Dana's astral energy.
What? There's so much astral energy. But where's it all coming from? It's almost like it's alive.
That was the spirit channeling ceremony just now. No, it was more than that.
What the hell was that? It felt like everything was on the brink of... like the whole world was seconds from...
Oblivion. It's the same vision as the one my thorns show me. A vision of impenetrable darkness that swallows up us and everything else.
An empty void. A nothing so complete and dominating that there aren't even words to describe it. The end of time.
The visions of the apocalypse you've been seeing. If I'd known how bad they were,
So, everything we just saw, those were Naori's memories, right?
That's right. It was as if her innermost thoughts were speaking directly to us. At least I know they weren't mine.
That power flowing into her. It reminds me of Shion's thorns. If they're what's responsible for all these visions she's been having, then maybe...
Maybe my thorns are made from that same astral energy?
If that is the case, we just found the missing link between your thorns and what happened here 3 centuries ago. No, more than a link. Perhaps even the very heart of the matter.
I've never felt astral energy so powerful. What was that?
If it's the same energy your thorns are made of, it must be dark astral energy, right? And isn't that something only Renans have?
Correct. Dark astral energy is possessed by Renans alone.
And when enough astral energy gathers together, it develops its own form of sentience. If so, maybe that complete oblivion is exactly what the Renan astral energy's will is wishing for. But why?
I don't know. Will can be a pretty vague thing to nail down. It's more of a feeling, just like the will of Dana.
But the will of Dana is made up of astral energy too, right? And if that's what's been showing us these visions... I don't know, should we really be getting so involved with this thing?
Dana's will would never want oblivion.
But you can't say that for sure!
Cut it out, you two. Squabbling over theories will get us nowhere.
Let's keep moving. If it's Dana's will showing us these memories, then I'm as clueless about its motives as any one of us. But if it could lead us to the truth, then I want to find out more.
Shion's right. All we can do is keep going. If these really are Naori's memories we're watching, there could be truths in them I was never aware of. And I think they may be the kinds of truths I need to confront if we're going to keep fighting.
I'm sorry about what I said earlier. Come on, let's go.
Finally, we begin to understand what the thorns are.
Yes, and their source. A ceremony that occurred 3 centuries ago.
But we still don't know how to get rid of them. I just hope we can find a way.
Oh dear. Okay, we're obviously have to proceed. Oh my god. Oh, so from how it looks in that cutscene, it's like somewhere within the power, and because of all the astral energy, it's like what triggered that or something, right? Like the thorns to appear. That's what it kind of is like. Oh, that's what it sort of looks like, you know? Man. That was ominous, though. I was like, oh god. Ah. Also, I'm getting close to time, but I do want to see where this next area will take us first, so. But, we do have a skit.
That vision we saw. It was as if it was meant specifically for us.
What do you make of it? Do you still think the will of Dana might be involved somehow?
Maybe it's trying to tell us something. But what?
Well, it could be supernatural. You know, like seeing dead people, messages from beyond the grave, ghost-type stuff.
That's your grand theory? That we're being haunted? Come on, Law.
Wait. He might be closer to the mark than you think. What if a person's thoughts and deeds were to somehow become indelibly etched into the ether of a place? And what if those with a connection could then somehow pick up on them?
You think that's what it was? Some kind of message someone left here for us?
I am merely entertaining the possibility. Whether it was Dana's will, or somehow connected to the Sovereign and Maiden's powers, I do not know.
Okay, back up a sec. You're saying that if a place is full of enough astral energy, it can somehow show us events that happened centuries ago?
More to the point, how does that much astral energy gather in one place anyway? Seems unlikely it happened naturally.
Whatever it was, it survived here intact for 300 years. Whoever left it for us, the strength of their intent is beyond doubt.
The strength of their intent.
Okay. I'm not doing anything, by the way.
Soon, we might very well learn the truth behind Shion's thorns, as well as my own past. I have to be ready to face anything. Whatever happens. I just need a little time first. I want to make...
Oops. Sorry if I cut you off, Albert. Okay, so that was an interesting sign. Telling me, like, maybe things will happen. Okay, you know, I'm close to time, so I think this is a good point to actually end things off, so... There's probably, like, going to...
We've reached our destination.
I know there's probably still more,
What do you
but...
say we check back in on the ranch?
But I'm, like, at the point where I'm, like, my session, for today is getting close to, like, a good point, and, I can't think. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that, we're getting close to time for today, and, considering that we might be getting a lot more cutscenes, I don't know how far we are in this game. I don't know how much is left, but, I think it's better if I wait till next time to continue this, just in case. Because what if we get to do a cutscene and it's like another hour? And it's like, I don't want to go over time since I have things to do today, so. First let's go rest up. Let's go recover all HP. I'm gonna do these things real quick. And, I could end it off. These are so expensive. Oh, I guess that, wow, thanks. Get a lot of gal back.
Have you guys checked your equipment lately?
That is a lot of equipment, I will say. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna end things off here for today. As I mentioned, seems like we're at a point, I don't know how much is left, but I'm pretty sure we still have quite a bit before the end of the game anyway. But for the sake of streaming, since each of these videos are a single stream, I don't want to go over 4 hours, and I actually have things to do, since I do have to get it done before next week or Thursday. I don't know. Basically, I'll be busy. I will still have time for streaming, don't worry, but I do need to focus on something else for the time being, since I have to get it done. And that message there was like, as I turn back for now, like, that's a good choice, that's a good choice. That the game tells me that. So, I also realized we're getting close to the usual time I usually complete these games. Not really. It usually takes more than that, but, you know. Anyways. So, we progressed through it. We continued on through the volcano to find that starship. We found it. We rested. technically rested there, and Shion did try to go alone, but we stopped her, and she told us the truth behind her thorns, or like the effect it has, like than just hurting people. And I had a feeling it was the case because I was like, I feel like it's about her thorns and something. And obviously we made it to Lenegis, and obviously they don't know what's going on in Dana, and they have suffered the brunt of what was going on, you know, with the wedge dropping and all that. And we are, well, technically we're in the Forbidden Zone now. And we've been looking, and we already have seen 2 memories of the past, which is interesting. Oh boy, that second one, like just a few moments ago, it was insane. I don't know what else to say. It's insane. And what else? Oh yeah. We don't know too much yet. We still need to probably like see, we'll probably end up seeing obviously more memories soon to further explain all that. If I remember right, did he mention that he blacked out when something went wrong and something, right? Like when the moment he got his memory back. It did seem like it's just like, yeah, it did like his memory did went blank there. And considering that, yeah, it does feel like, as they said, it feels like the thorns have sentience or something. So are they capable of are the thorns capable of possessing people, or I'm just thinking too much into it? I'm probably thinking too much into it. I'm always like this, so yeah. And I'm close to the end of the game, I think. I don't know if it'll be one more session after this or not. We'll see. Don't worry, we'll see. But it's a good place to end here for now, since there might be even more cutscenes, and I don't have that time today during this one. So, we'll save it for next time. So anyway, thank you all for watching. And I'll see you all next time.